Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Off Point. I'm Les.
I'm Marlon White.
And today we've got Charlene Aldridge.
Hello.
So, let's just start. You're an actress, aren't you?
I am, yeah.
Yep. Tell us about that.
So I've wanted to be an actress since I was 4.
Oh.
So it's been a lifelong dream from far back as I can remember. And it started off when I was in the nativity play at school when I was 4 years old, and I was Angel Gabriel, and I just loved it. I just loved everything about it. And as I grew and I watched telly, I used to watch telly with my granddad. We used to watch Carry On films. I don't know if you're familiar with them.
Yeah,
Carry On Screaming and Carry On Camping and all that. And I just remember sitting there one day and I said, Granddad, I want to do that when I'm older. And so he's kind of been my biggest fan. But obviously he passed away when I was quite young as well.
6, wasn't it?
Yeah, 6 or 7, yeah. And he was a really good role model for me. And if it weren't for him, I probably wouldn't know what love is, if you get what I mean, you know. So he's
that's going on that's been on the list already, but we'll skip ahead on that bit. But yeah, go on.
But I never had the tools or the opportunities to go to drama school like I wanted to. So I just got myself a Saturday job doing a paper round. Yeah. And so I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning every day before school, and I do my paper round before I get on the bus to go to school. Oh, yeah. And that's how I paid for a workshop. So, and I did that for quite a long time, yeah.
What, the age of 6?
No, not the age of 6. I would about after.
I was going to say, I mean, you shouldn't have been allowed outside at that age.
No.
It's even back in those days.
I was going to say the 90s was different.
Yeah, exactly.
Then again,
straight down the mines with you.
Yeah, I did used to go to school on my own when I was 9 years old. So I used to walk to school when I was 9 years old.
How far was school?
Probably not that far, really. I mean, I'm not good with mileage or anything like that. Don't ask me about none of that.
But I think in the 90s that wasn't that uncommon. I mean, I was going to school from 7. Yeah,
I was
that far away. It's probably about a 10-minute walk.
We used to cycle through country lanes. My mum would follow us in a car and cause a big load of traffic, and there's me and my brother being like, freedom!
Oh, no.
On our teeny tiny little bikes, and mum just behind there in the car. What? I don't know why she just put us in the back. It's like, come on, boys, in you get.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah.
But no, you wanted to promote you to have your freedom and that, which is good. It's a good thing. But yeah, it weren't uncommon. Yeah, it weren't uncommon back then. So, but yeah, fast forward, I was about 13.
Okay, that makes more sense.
So yeah, I got my I got a paper round. I paid for a workshop that I attended up until I was 19. And when I got too old for that, obviously I never had the money or anything, to go to drama school. Didn't have very nurturing parents that kind of embraced any of my talents that I had. And so I had to do everything on my own, and that's what I've learned throughout my life is if you want something, you got to do it yourself. You can't rely on others, you've got to do it yourself. So once I'd obviously was too old to attend the workshop, I then got signed up to a casting agency, which was doing SA work,
what's SA mean?
Supporting artist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so background people.
Oh, right.
So that's how I kind of learned how a set's run and, how things work on a set. So I've done a lot of learning on the job, really. I was winging it.
Well, it's the best way to learn,
yeah,
isn't it? It's I remember when I did journalism, I did my master's first, and then I went into local journalism, and I swear I learned more doing local journalism than I did my master's months. It's crazy. It
is, and I think you do learn better, I think, when you're learning as you're doing it.
Yeah.
I think that's how I work anyway. So. But yeah, and after that, as I was doing that a bit more, I then just started getting involved in student films. So I got my first lines in a student film, and then that way I could get a show reel together, and then the rest is just history. I've just literally just been just hustling on, really, just hustling and bustling, and here I am now.
Whereas, I know that your latest film is, I've got it here somewhere. It's, Fire Rises.
That's right.
And that came out, you had your premiere yesterday, didn't you?
Yeah, that was at the London Independent Film Festival.
What was it like?
It was good, yeah, it was really good, yeah. I mean, it's a low-budget film, but the quality of it is amazing.
Yeah, there's a trailer and everything.
Yeah, it is brilliant.
I like the villain.
Yeah, I watched the trailer today.
The villain's he looks like a Joker villain, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. Aaron Sidwell, yeah. It's like the Joker meets Marilyn Manson.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's quite scary, two fellas.
Honestly, literally just smashed his role. He was amazing at it.
It's
you know,
fun to play the villain, I suppose.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'd love to play. I'm still yet to play a villain
What?
yet.
You haven't been able to play a villain yet?
I haven't been able to play a villain yet.
It's always the cute little ones, you know, just like, you know, you just sit there, it's like I'm having all of yes.
Yeah, they're the most menacing.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you know, like Annabelle or someone like that. Everyone's like the girl from The Ring or something, but, you know, like, but in Cockney.
Pinky and the Brain.
Oh, yeah, true.
Trying to take over the world.
Take over the world.
That's a flashback.
Oh my god, yeah. Childhood coming back. It's like, wait, he was the baddie.
He was,
like, okay, so like, what's been the coolest role that you've had so far? Like, what's one that you'd reprise any day? Reprise, big
I have
word.
to think about that. Probably Losing Faith, where I played Molly Jensen, a secret agent, taking down like a drug. Like a cartel type thing,
It's such sort of like,
Yeah, and she was, do you know what, she reminded me of myself a little bit because, you know, she's quite...
Well, you're a secret agent.
Yeah, and...
Are you secretly a secret agent?
I don't know. Watch it.
You never know.
But, no, she was quite a vulnerable woman, but she was tough. You wouldn't mess with her, you know? And she kind of, the way she navigates the world is that, you know, everybody, you cannot trust anybody that comes in front of you, right? So, you know, I'm just going to basically be very standoffish with you. And that's how she goes through the film. But then she starts to soften, you know, once someone's kind of sort of broke her shell down a little bit.
A bit nicer to her.
Yeah, so she kind of softens, but in a healthy way where she's not too soft.
Yeah.
So
like gradually kind of like lets them warm to her rather than the other way around, and like letting them in a little bit.
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah. So she's probably been my favourite to date. Yeah, 'cause she's very complicated. So
there's quite a lot of complexity to portraying, like, you know, like for a character, because it was the lead, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah. So it would be like what's run time's about hour and 50, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
And so how did you go about portraying that sort of softening up? Because I know that you don't film in order, do you?
No.
So how was that for you? Like having to kind of contain that consistency and that journey.
So what I'd do really is a couple of days before we're shooting those scenes, I'd literally just read through the script over and over again. Try and understand where she's coming from, you know, what's going on in the scene and everything like that, and put yourself in there. And that's how I work with. I work a little bit differently to most actors out there. You know, I tell the truth in imaginary circumstances, and what I mean by that is I take bits of my own life experiences, and then I kind of like, you know, think about that feeling, and then I put that into my character. So yeah.
Because, I mean, you mentioned before that you had quite a sort of interesting childhood, should we say?
Yeah.
So you were raised by your granddad until he passed away when you were age 6, and then what happened?
I went back in my mother's care, and where
Why were you with your granddad to start with?
Yeah.
Do you mind me asking about it?
That's all good. So when my father went to prison, he went to prison, and my mum moved me and my brother back to East London, because I was originally born in Warsaw, so you could call me a fake Cockney, really. But no, I was raised, you know, I'm literally culturally... Yeah,
sorry,
Warsaw, West Midlands. So culturally, I'm an East Ender through and through.
Yeah.
You know,
sounds that way.
Yeah,
exactly. There's a certain
tell.
hint of certain joie de vivre that says
It's an money,
yeah.
But so when she moved us back down there to my granddad's, she was obviously like, you know, working a lot, and she'd met someone else and everything like that. And then when my dad came out of prison, he took my brother.
Why didn't he want to take you?
I don't know really. There's something that I don't understand myself to this day, really, and I don't think I ever will. But I've made peace with it.
Have you not been able to talk to him about it?
No, my dad passed away 2 years ago.
Oh, it sucks.
Yeah, it's you know, it's.
Well, I mean, it sucks in a way, but
Do you feel that you never got answers to certain questions?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. But I think you can't dwell on that. You've just got to try and understand it yourself, so you can move on from things without it, you know, affecting your future. And that's all I've tried to do. I'm a very positive person.
Yeah, you seem.
I try to think positively about everything. So wherever there's a negative, I try to take the positive out of it and focus on that rather than that, because dwelling on things,
it will suck you down the hole.
It will suck the life out of you. And that's what how I use acting really as well. I use it more as therapy.
That's Interesting, because a lot of art comes from pain, doesn't it?
Oh, it does,
yeah.
The best art comes from pain.
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
know.
And most comedians have got depression and that, haven't
they have, yeah. A lot of them have manic depression and everything, you know.
Yeah. Most people say,
it's something that you can channel your energy into.
Yeah.
So I feel like anything creative, you can just focus on that, and no matter what you're going through, and you just put all that passion in.
Exactly. So I mean, you think of it like this: if you're like sitting there and you're thinking about things over and over again, and you're sitting there and you're making yourself ill and you're dwelling over it, the way how I got out of that was, hang on, acting's my passion. Instead of doing this, why not flip that round and do it in a positive way? Put this energy into a character.
Yeah, make it into something a bit more like, put that sort of side of your personality into something that you can then project and then kind of let go of in a way.
Exactly, it is, and it is so. It is like therapy.
Yeah, because you can be proud of it as well. Actually, when you think about it, and then you can be proud of your own pain. That's really quite clever. Yeah. It doesn't usually get this deep this quick.
No.
Normally, at this point, we're talking about our favourite types of tea. By the way, if anyone wants to get Charlene a cup of tea, we had this conversation before.
Oh a cup of tea. You can't beat brew, man. Yorkshire.
It's got to be Yorkshire.
It's got to be Yorkshire.
But okay, going back to what we were saying though, I mean, okay, so your granddad brought you up in the East End, right? And then you went from there back to
my mum's,
Your mum's in Walsall, yeah?
No, not to Walsall, in East London.
Oh, right.
So yeah, my dad's from Walsall.
At the same time, and then
when my mum moved us from Walsall, because that's where my dad's from Walsall.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like Peaky Blinders meets EastEnders.
Okay.
Basically.
Jesus Christ! I mean, no wonder there's a bit of drama in your past.
I know, but you know, it's colourful. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, when my mum moved us to the East End and my granddad passed away, my mum obviously, my mum was living with a boyfriend at the time, and so she left me with my granddad, and so I was the child that was left behind. Yeah.
What the fuck?
It is what it is. At the end of the
some
day,
serious abandonment issues from that. I mean, that's fucked.
I did, but I don't know more. You know, because
that's incredible.
Yeah, because you know why should I let my past rob my future? You know, I've already been robbed enough.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
So, but yeah.
That's a lovely way of putting it. I've already been robbed enough.
That's what I'm saying. That's the most positive way of putting it. You know, don't dwell on it. You know, learn from it, grow from it, let it grow you. You know,
it's created a very independent individual, as you were saying before. You know, I mean, like you were able to sort of just, you know, get off your ass and just get going with it.
Yeah,
and then it's
I had no choice. You know, because I had no one there for me to, you know, like sort of guide me or anything. I had myself, and that was it. You know, and so I've had to do it on my own, and that's all I know how to do. Cool. You know, so. But yeah, so when I went to live with my mum when my granddad died, she weren't the greatest mum in the world.
Well, I mean, she did kind of palm you off to your granddad for 6 years. So I mean, I'm friends with her.
So is your granddad on your mum or dad's?
My mum's side. Oh, okay. Yeah. He was a great man as well. He really was.
It's good that you had that foundation of actual love in that early formation stage, because they do say that that's the part that really does impact.
That's when you sponge. You know, all your learning, like all your important learning about like you know, emotions and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, exactly. They're the most important years of your life, and it's important to give your kid a good start.
Yeah, because I was like how that's affected you as a parent as well. Like,
I mean, I've learned how not to be a parent by my mum, so she did teach me something, you know.
That's such a good it's a nice little backhander there. I love that. She deserves it. I mean, you know.
But I mean, I feel like everybody can take that from their parents, what not to do, because no parent's perfect.
No, of course they're not.
Yeah, but they don't just palm you off.
That's true. I'm just saying no parent's perfect in the first place, so there's always stuff you can take.
Definitely,
what not to do.
Yeah.
That's from my mum.
Yeah, but like, you know, I don't hate my mum or anything. I don't, you know, she's my mum still at the end of the day. She's one of the reasons why I'm here. You know, I don't know. No. But I don't wish any ill on her. You know, she's got a lot of issues herself. And that's what as I was going through this process, when I was diagnosed with CPTSD because of all this.
I've had that as well.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare.
What is that?
Complex PTSD is where it's not quite, it's where you have a prolonged period of stress that basically culminates in PTSD symptoms such as rumination is one that really fucked me up. You can't sleep, you get it comes up in your dreams, you find yourself feeling socially disengaged and things like that. You're heavily depressed at times. Get flashbacks, everything.
Yeah, flashbacks are the one that was for me. It was like I was reliving it all over again.
All the time.
It's horrible.
For me, it was just going round in my head over and over and over. But it comes. It's not one specific event. It's a period of
a long period of time of trauma.
Of exceptional stress. So, you know, for example, for me, it was that thing that happened in 22 and also in 2012. You know, like, and I guess for you, it was the parent thing and everything like that.
Yeah.
Fucks you up.
Oh, it's a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot.
Let me ask. So was there a time you were angry with your mother?
Oh, of course, yeah. Of course I was. Yeah, I was so angry. I was, honestly, I was like a loose cannon when I was younger. I would, like, anyone that kind of even looked at me the wrong way, I said the wrong thing, I'd want to fight them, you know, because
You're so little.
I know, but, you know, don't underestimate the little ones. That's all I can say.
Believe me, those are the ones that fight.
Yeah, I really can't wait to get a picture of these two. You're like 5 foot, he's 6'6". I'm just going to be standing in the middle feeling like Malcolm, being like, well, I just feel a bit like...
Malcolm in the middle, because you're actually in the middle.
Oh, God, it's going to be so... Well, actually, I'm in the middle.
Yeah.
I'm like, It's like, I mean, thank goodness for, like, camera angles, but you should see the angles on these cameras. It's like Marlon Monda's, like, all the way pointing upwards. And, like, you know, now, you know, I think I'm nice and level. It's taking us 15 minutes to do it. But no, okay, so with that whole background thing, and then it's like, so how did you deal with that rage?
The gym.
Eventually.
The gym, yeah. Went to the gym, punch bag, doing weights and everything. I just kind of become addicted to that, really.
That helps a lot.
It does help, you know, and I highly recommend it to anyone that has anger issues. Like, you know, there's the kids that I work with for the Underdog crew.
I was going to ask about that later.
Oh yeah, no, I'll just tell you this bit.
No, crack on.
Yeah,
no, honestly.
Yeah, like, you know, a lot of these kids that come to us, they're angry. You know, they're really angry because they feel like, you know, the world's not fair, especially this day and age. You know, the world's hard now.
Yeah.
And they're angry a lot, and a lot of it is to do with trauma or any disability they've got that they've been gone undiagnosed for, like autism and ADHD.
Yeah, that was tough. It is tough.
And it's really tough. And then if they don't feel like someone's listening to them or anything, or if everyone's just being too authoritative,
or being like, oh shush, you know, like, or kind of telling you're a bother. I think ADHD kids, and I only really know that because I do a lot of research on it for myself and also for my blog. But that wasn't a cheap sell, I promise. You know, but it's it was one of the things that a lot of people with those conditions, like people who aren't neurotypical, because you put in all the effort, do everything you're supposed to do, but it never comes back to you in the way that it does for everyone else. Yeah. And so you start to think, well, what the fuck have I done wrong? Yeah. And, you know, like I think ADHD people make up 25% of the prison population in the UK, but only 3% of the general population.
Wow. Is that right?
Yeah. So you're either a genius or you're an asshole.
Because it mostly goes undiagnosed, right?
Yeah, but when they go to prison, then they get...
that's when they get...
that's when people are given the attention that they need to kind of understand who they are as people and why they committed whatever crimes they get convicted. Yeah. But then you have the catastrophizing thing, so a lot of these people probably haven't committed as bad a crime as they've been accused of. And I don't know, I mean, I'm speaking generally here, but you know, I'm jumping to conclusions on that one. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to jump in.
No, all right, it's fine, it's good.
So, sorry, I just wanted to jump in there. So you use exercise and other sporting activities to help deal with certain traumas in your life. Did you ever seek professional help?
I did seek therapy, but that didn't work for me, and I'll tell you for why. Because the therapist that I had was always fuck off, clock watching. And I know, obviously, everyone's got to get paid for what they do and everything.
Yeah, but patience is a virtue.
Exactly.
And the whole point is to sit and listen. He said,
exactly. Not be like, right, that's time now. And that weren't good for me because a human.
Were you paying for it? Or?
Of course, yeah. I couldn't get on the NHS. So you having a laugh?
It takes ages.
The list on that, honestly,
the waiting list. I actually became I did a counselling course in less time than it took to get counselling.
Really?
It was ridiculous. Wow. Yeah, but anyway, go on. Sorry.
I've been to therapy a few times, and that's my always concern with it, the monetary value of it. You have to pay how much £1 an hour.
Yeah.
It becomes what you can afford.
Bother me more.
It is. It's not so much how much you pay, it's the way they are with you. Stop clock watching.
Yeah, and actually stop so slowly.
And speak to me like you actually do care and want to help me, not just because but then again, though, it's money is the root of all evil. It takes away all the passion out of everyone, because you think a counsellor, if they've gone into this because they want to help people, but then eventually it all boils down to money, which everyone's got to eat, everyone's got to get paid.
And they've got the next person coming in, then the next person. Yeah. You're just like, all right, I'm part of a conveyor belt.
That's what I'm saying. And a human, it's not healthy for a human to just shut off their emotions and then go, oh yeah, I'll come back next week and just carry on where I left off, because you're not going to remember where you were.
I feel very vulnerable as well after those sessions. I mean, I did one about the CPTSD, and it got me because, like that night I would just, like the next morning I'd feel like absolutely exhausted.
Yeah.
It was like getting hit in the head or something like that. It was just...
It is
because your brain has to rewire itself when you start to understand these things. And even that is a massive amount of energy that you have to put into kind of reliving trauma or reliving what you went through and telling the same story that you've had in your head forever. Like come out again and again.
Yeah.
Just, you can see it all happening again and everything. And,
there's and there's like black spots as well that you have as well, which I found is that the stuff that I did unpack is I'd go home and like, even a certain smell or like a certain thing that come on telly would take me straight back to like a memory, or like make me remember one that I'd forgotten about, like I'd buried way deep in there. And that was scary. Like, like those were scary because it felt like I was reliving it all over again, and I did not know what to do,
No.
But
especially if you're on your own or you've got responsibility.
I've got 2 kids. I've got a 17-year-old and a 10-year-old.
Oh, wow, 17-year-old.
Yeah, 17, yeah.
Wow.
What's it like doing that? I mean, because he's going to be off the walls, even the hormones.
He's an adult nearly.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, she's in college and everything. Wow. She wants to be a photographer, bless her.
Oh,
I know.
She come out with us if she wants. I mean, we're doing wedding gigs.
No,
so as long as she doesn't break the
tripod.
The tripod, otherwise you get shouted at by Marlon in front of everyone. And you're the only white guy in the room.
Shout to him.
If she's at the beginning stages, I don't think she'd want to touch one yet until she knows what she's doing. But
tell her not to buy plastic.
No, I tell her, I'll let her know. But my daughter as well is neurodivergent. So she's autistic. With learning difficulties with hers. But it's do you know what though? She's just the most beautiful girl ever. I'm so fortunate to have such a wonderful child. She the way I look at her, she was my child that was born when I weren't fixed myself, and she saw it all with me. She saw me at my worst, she saw me at my best, and she still loves you for it, and she's grown with you. Yeah, it's unconditional. That's where I knew what unconditional love was. Through her, through parenting myself, because my mum, it was very conditional.
She's quite narcissistic in that way.
Yeah, 100%, yeah. But as I say, I think that stems from her own childhood, really, because I think she went...
how much one bit of abuse can carry through so many generations. I mean,
That's why I don't hate her, because she's a product of what she was raised with,
Do you think you and your mother will ever fix things, do you think?
Probably not, no, because when there's too much water under the bridge, there's too much water under the bridge, and I feel like I've drowned in it, and I don't wish any bad. I mean, you can love someone from afar, but you don't still have to have them in your life.
It's like having an ex or something.
Yeah.
Still kind of, they showed up in, blood running down their legs. You'd probably be like, all right, look, come on in, let's clean you up kind of thing.
Yeah.
Not their legs necessarily, but I don't know why I said legs. But at the same time, it's like, you give them the compassion that they need, but you wouldn't go seeking them out to give them that compassion.
Exactly, yeah. And the thing is, I have tried in the past, to try and sort things with her, when I was talking to her, and all I got was just anger all the time. Anger.
You?
Yeah, very.
Why? You didn't do anything.
It's just.
You were a kid.
I know. I don't know. As I said, I think my mum's got her own issues, but she never. I think it's the old school, isn't it? They don't verbalise what's going on,
I think the problem is sometimes with parents, they don't like to admit their wrongs.
I don't.
They have to be the authority,
right?
Yeah, they have to be the authority,
even when they're wrong.
So,
I think it takes a lot of courage to say you're wrong, because I know that I had a friend who had an issue like that actually with an ex-girlfriend of mine, and she was she was a lovely person. Yeah. But the reason I broke up with her was because she was never wrong, and she could never be wrong. And part of that came down to her career. She was she's a very, very high level career where if she makes the wrong decision, she's screwed. Not only is she going to lose her career, which she's worked so hard for, but also people could lose their lives. I mean, she works in medicine, and I think that was quite a difficult thing for me, because it was I would always, by default, you're never right, but you're also right occasionally, but you're never right.
Yeah.
Unless they agree that you're right, in which case you can never really be right, because you can't, for yourself and for your own, and therefore there's that inequality, and that's something that you can't really, but it's not that you're wrong, it's not that you're being told that you're terrible, but you get that sneaking suspicion that your opinion doesn't matter as much as it should, and you're not an equal.
No, yeah, no, it's fact. That's true. It is. Like, I mean, like, it takes a big person to admit when they're wrong.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know,
and once you start admitting you're wrong,
Nobody wants to be wrong. Nobody
No,
wants to be
of course they
responsible.
I
don't.
don't see what's wrong with being wrong.
But the way of moving forward with something is admitting your defaults. You know, admitting your faults, and you know, and talking about it.
Yeah.
I feel like, you know,
there's a lot of vulnerability in doing that though, because you're kind of opening yourself up to
also strength
criticism.
in it.
But
It's also strength in it.
absolutely,
Especially-
it kind of comes out like fire.
I think it's even harder when there's years of.
Oh, darling, come on, all right, the missus will watch. Come on, behave yourself, girl. Like that's me flirting with an actress.
I think it's worse.
Moving up in the world, Marlon. High five.
I think it's
After
worse.
you, we're going to Celine Dion on. Actually, it's a bit too old for me anyway nowadays.
I think it must be a lot harder when there's years of wrongdoing as well. It's not like you just did one wrong action, you'd be like, oh, that was wrong.
Yeah, it's consistent.
Because like if I was wrong, if I treated somebody wrong for like 10 years,
Yeah.
it's hard to then turn around and be like,
Yeah, and
How do you even approach that? To be honest, if it's like a prolonged series,
you might not see it. You might not see it though. That's the thing.
No.
Well, you didn't see you was treating somebody wrong. For
and also you've got that whole thing of.
And I don't think she does. That's the thing. I don't think she knows she's doing it half the time. You know, because
there's all that shame as well that they must kind
Yeah.
of build up if they do realise actually maybe I fucked this, and it's so much easier to turn it around and be like, well, actually, and you know, come up with different reasons why your actions were actually okay in the moment.
that'd be the only time I would talk to her, is if she came to me and said, "Look, I know, you know, I fucked up basically, and I'm so sorry, and you know, I admit what I'd done. I hold my hands up. You know, I was wrong. You know, in any way, I'd be open to a conversation.
Yeah,
then.
you need her to apologise to
would,
you
yeah.
and appreciate what she did that hurt you
Yeah,
as well.
and I'd want
say
to, and I'd want to, whenever but then when I used to talk about what had hurt me, like what she'd put me through, the men she'd brought in the house and stuff like that.
Yeah.
She didn't want to know. It was like, no, don't want to know, don't want to listen to it. And it's just that, it was like, you don't, it's all about how you feel. My feelings don't count.
It's also about like kind of listening to how you felt as well, and that must be quite scary for her because it's her responsibility. And I think that, you know, like,
Either
'cause
that,
she's
or
done-
she just didn't care. Like she was just too motivated on herself. As I said, my mum was one of those that she's, if it ain't about her, then she don't want to know.
She's a narcissist.
Yeah.
Massively. Yeah, I had a friend of mine who had something similar with her mum, and she had some serious issues with her mum and trust issues as well, massive trust issues.
Yeah.
How has that affected your later relationships?
So
you had like kind of your granddad who was trustworthy and loving, and then you've got your mum who's a bit of an arsehole.
I still need work when it comes to stuff like that. You know, I do still need work. I admit it. I'm a complete nightmare when it comes to things. You know, I am.
No, of
I
course,
am.
yeah. But it's kind of like, you know, because you've got that. Does it feel like a threat to you if you start to trust somebody?
Yeah, because as I say, I've had a colourful life. Let's put it that way. I've been through a lot of things where I've trusted the wrong people, and all they've wanted to do is sabotage me. Like I had a best friend of 28 years that turned out to be not my friend at all.
Really?
Yeah.
What happened?
Oh, it's a lot. I mean, it all started in school again. You know, I don't know. She just. One minute she was great with me, like she loved me and everything like that, and the next minute she's talking behind my back to people and stuff. And then it came to when my marriage, when she broke up my marriage. Really.
She broke up your marriage?
Yeah,
Did she
nearly
sleep
did.
with your
Yeah,
husband or something?
yeah, nearly did.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
that's what I'm saying. We
What the fuck?
Yeah, it weren't nice. So
That's not nice. That's not what you do to a friend.
No, that's what I'm saying. So it's very hard for me to trust people, to let them in, you know, because of those reasons. If I didn't...
That's fucked up.
Yeah,
Especially when she knows you so well,
Yeah.
and she knows your vulnerabilities like that.
Yeah,
and
they
it's-
exploit them.
What
That's
the
what I'm saying. That's what
fuck?
people do. Some humans are very horrible,
That's
and you've
pretty
got to be
evil.
very careful with who you open yourself to, and that's how I am. I'm very cautious.
Yeah.
It might not be healthy in some ways,
But
but
it is a self-preservation thing. You've got those walls that you can put up to defend yourself.
yeah.
And to being hurt like that so many times, I mean, Jesus Christ.
But then again, though, I learnt from it. Though that's what I'm saying. I don't do it.
Yeah, you're coming out
anymore.
swinging. I mean, absolutely.
I've learnt from it, and I've grown from it, and I've taken it, and it's taught me up to be the woman I am today. I mean, I'm 36 years old, and this is the first time that I've actually felt like I'm really together, you know, as a person.
Yeah.
I understand the world a little bit more now, whereas before, when all that was going on, I didn't understand the world. I was questioning myself, like, it's something I'm doing wrong.
Yeah,
you know?
you have to blame you start by blaming yourself because you're the only one that you can control. I think it's about control. I wrote about this recently, actually, and it's like, or I was thinking a lot about it recently, because it's like, I tend to go for people who are quite opposite to me, like they tend to be like cats, and I'm more like a dog. And
I'm definitely a dog person.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually have a cat, but I love my cat. But it's just
I've got a cat as well. I love my cat too, but dogs is just, dogs are just different. They hit different.
Yeah, and it's like they kind of like, they've got that energy and they bounce up to you, and they're like, they always say that there's a book that's like ADHD, people are dogs.
Yeah.
And we are, in a way, and it's just it's just quite a sweet thing. But if you kick a dog, fuck
Don't matter what, what lifestyle you've got, how much money you've got, who you are as a person, what, your convictions or whatever, they love you with no judgment.
Oh, so
and that's
nice.
A beautiful thing.
Yeah, I don't understand why people can't do that as well. Like, I mean, I'm not saying it's that urge to judge and then feel. I don't know what people get from that. Like, for me, it's like, if you judge someone, then it's the whole judge lest you be judged. I mean, I'm not going to get all religious about it because I'm not really a religious person.
Me either.
It's like, but it's just when you're sitting there and just like, wait, I didn't deserve, like, who the fuck are you? And it takes so long to turn that around. Be like, like, this person said something about me that's so nasty, or bullied me or something like that, and you're just like, actually, what was his name again? Like 3 years later, you're like, I obsessed over this thing for a while now, and it really kind of messed with my sense of self.
It wasted your time as well.
Absolutely.
It's what I'm saying. We all
and it's
want...
like, what did I do to deserve that? And it's like, actually, I didn't do anything. And who's this person? They're a fucking arsehole.
Yeah. Time. It's a funny thing. You
take time. That's
you want so much of it, but then you use it in the worst way possible. By dwelling on things. That's how I look at things. I don't want to waste my time dwelling on people that don't deserve me to care. They don't deserve my tears for them. They don't deserve me to, sit here and, worry about what they think all the time.
It's weird because you're obsessed, don't you? A little bit. Like, I think that's part of the CPTSD as well. Cause it's like it's tough because you're like, well, they almost because I guess because pain is. I mean, I think that I have an interest-driven nervous system. That's the main thing about ADHD. It's why we have so many hobbies in that. Yeah. But for me, it was always like, like, if something hurts you, it's like having a cut on your arm, and you're always going to be like poking the cut. Every time you brush it, it hurts. It's a bit like when you get triggered or whatever. Yeah. And I think that for me, it takes a long time for that to heal, but you have to leave it. But leaving it alone when it hurts, it's so hard that you're always looking at it, and then after a while you just realise, okay, that's healed. What was that again? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Which I think.
But it always leaves the scar.
It does a little bit. Yeah, I've got them all up my arm from a certain ex of mine who used to dig her nails into my arms. It took me a long time to get that away.
You got to be so careful where you surround yourself.
Oh yeah, and you have to understand as well, like, that what is and isn't normal, because to you it becomes normal because it's insidious. It comes, it creeps in, and then you realise, hang about, I didn't used to cry like this, or I didn't used to feel this way about myself. And it takes a lot of time because these people are sort of, I mean, I'm not saying that everyone's there. People make mistakes. Everyone's a bit of a prick sometimes. I mean, hell, I've definitely said some shit for yourself. You tried to beat me up on a blooming night out, you bastard.
I'm a prick in the morning before my tea, so I fully admit that.
And if it's before 10 a.m. for me, I'm like, nope, fuck off.
Yeah.
I'm like that with coffee.
Is it?
Yeah, same. It's like, I tell you what, I think I might be the creepy naked guy for my neighbours because I just walk straight through, just like, saying, no, coffee. And I've got big ass windows. I'm fairly sure they've all seen me, less than well dressed.
I think I'm probably the only person in the world that hates coffee.
You hate coffee?
What?
I don't think anybody likes coffee, but we need it.
No, I'd
to
rather
wake up
just
in the
have.
morning.
No, I'd rather just have a cup of tea.
It's not strong enough. It's not strong enough a cup of tea.
Yeah, but I'm only little. I don't need nothing strong like coffee.
Just tops herself up every now and then,
cheap day as well. I don't need to drink as much.
How many drinks does you take?
I don't really.
Asking for a friend. I'm asking for a friend.
For anybody listening, she's drinking from whiskey right now. Are you drunk?
No, nowhere near. Whiskey's like, I love whiskey though. I absolutely love whiskey.
It is gorgeous.
The smell and that. Oh, yeah.
It's been a while since I drank whiskey.
Whiskey's the one.
Now with my monogram.
It really is. I don't like girls' drinks though. Like, Prosecco, gin. No, you can get lost. You can have that
gin.
back.
I love
Gin's
gin.
horrible.
Gin's amazing.
I hate gin.
You're both British.
I have a
Oh God, my voice has gone too high. All right. Back to hi, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Les, and I like gin.
I was serious about Prosecco. Nobody likes it. That's why you always get given it for free.
Yeah.
What? Nobody's ever bought a bottle of Prosecco.
Fuck
For
off.
the
I
Oh,
bought
but you
3
get-
in the last
no,
2
but-
weeks.
Besides Lev's.
No, because it goes with an Aperol Spritz.
Yeah,
It's
but
an
like-
I've never
American
ever bought
cocktail.
Prosecco. I've got like 4
is
bottles.
No, I don't like
Oh,
it
fuck
at all.
you both.
Champagne, I hate it at all.
Champagne, no, champagne. I'm with you. I mean, I actually nearly got
Blech.
kicked out of a press event. Well, they nearly shut it down because we were in France.
Yeah.
And after a little while, I think I had a few. Yeah, we had a few cocktails going on, but then they had all this champagne. They're pouring out the champagne, and it just got a little bit much. I started to get a bit of a heartburn from it. It was a bit too acidic.
No, it don't even taste
Yeah,
nice. though.
so I
That's
tried
the
to put
thing.
some coke.
all
I tried to put a little lemonade in there, and the guy
I thought you
was
said
so
I thought you
offended.
were about to say I tried to put a bit of cocaine.
Yeah. No, Coca-Cola. There was Coca-Cola. There was Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola. I'm like, why would I waste cocaine on that? Jesus, come on. Like, no, I can't talk for that.
I didn't know it was that kind of podcast.
I genuinely don't know where to find cocaine. So, I mean, like, it's like, it's like, oh, you're doing drugs. Like, no,
Like, even
but I
with
can't afford
cocaine,
it.
it tastes like shit.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, so it's like, this is bullshit. Whoa! Like, well, it doesn't really work on me. Like, I tried it once at a stag do, and everyone else just bounced off walls. I'm like, does anyone want to do some maths?
Yeah.
I was like, looking at the time, like, I feel quite relaxed now.
No.
I was like, started writing my little journal. Everyone else is like,
Nah, weed. That's the one.
oh
that
yeah,
relaxes.
definitely. No, 100% with the weed thing. I mean, I don't know
Yeah.
why it's illegal anyway, but like, yeah, a little bit
I
of weed
d-
just sends you off.
I do. No, what's your views on that? Because I think they should legalise
I
it.
think they
do it
should
as well.
absolutely, yeah. Because
Yeah.
I think that also because like the stuff you get like when you're getting it, on the streets,
Yeah.
of Surrey.
mean
Yeah, it
streets
doesn't.
of Surrey.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the streets-
you get them on the
yeah.
streets everywhere.
Fucking Red Hill, like,
Yeah.
Don't buy in the store.
No,
Don't buy in
there's
the
always
store.
a weed dealer at every
Oh,
flipping down the
really?
road and that.
I wish this is the thing. We got a
I got a
scarcity
quick
of that
story.
shit.
I got a quick story. I don't really smoke that much anymore.
Yeah.
But I fancied it.
You were my dealer.
Huh?
No, I'm joking. You were.
Trying to get me locked up here.
That's getting edited out.
It's herbal, by the way, herbal.
Every other night you come around like, Bliff. I'm like, of course.
Yeah, that's like,
Come on in, my friend.
you're talking about something 15 years ago.
All right, cover
I'm
your
talking
ass.
about recently, eh? But anyway, I've been living in this area for about maybe 4 or 5 years. I don't really know anybody here. So I'm like, well, I fancy some weed. My wife was away as well.
No, but that's not the part you should have said quietly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, I fancy some weed, and I'm like, I don't know anybody that I can buy weed from.
Yeah.
So I walked around the whole area for hours
It's weird
trying to
how you
find
can
a
never
weed
find a
dealer.
dodgy guy in a
Yeah.
park at night.
Yeah.
It's so sad. The internet age has fucked us.
And usually when I walk around, I smell it. Somebody smoking it. This
Yeah.
time, nobody smoking it. It's fresh air, the freshest
Where the
air
fuck
I
are all
ever
the
smelled.
teenagers?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is this?
So what?
Even in Reigate, you get you can smell a bit of the good stuff.
So what I did?
Like Reigate, the average house price there is 400 grand, for a flat. It's just ridiculous. I mean, most people have knighthoods, I think. Keir Starmer went to school there, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. So what?
Sorry, Sir Keir Starmer. See? They've all got knighthoods.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I did? I'm like, okay, how am I gonna find a dealer? So I'm like, let me go to a corner shop that sells grinders, lighters.
Yeah.
Those guys
Bizzlers.
do not like to admit they've got some shit behind the back.
Let me go there and sit camp outside of it, like I'm on
Bear in
on a
mind, he's a
stakeout.
6'6" black guy standing outside a weed shop with his hood up.
I would have stood out like across from it on the bench.
I'd have arrested you if
like-
I was a passing cop. I'd be
like
like,
I-
all right, come on, son. I know you're up to something.
Like I was on a stakeout for I sat there for 2 hours until I
Yeah.
saw some kids come around to buy Rizzlers and stuff, and then I went over to them like, "Can I get some weed?" One of them.
How old were these kids?
I don't know how old they were, but I said,
hard to tell
I said to
sometimes
them,
they've got hoods on.
I said to them, "Do you know where to get weed from?" And then they go, "Yeah, him." This guy came over, pulled something out of his trousers,
Why is it always out their trousers?
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
oh
That's
god, it's
why I
gonna...
did, didn't
Yeah,
they?
that's why they call
Yeah.
it cheese, probably.
and it's got
High five. Yes. Oh, I'm on it. I'm on it.
true.
Yes, this guy. I'm going to kickstart my comedy career soon.
Oh, it's making me think what banana split is now.
Oh,
oh
God.
god,
I'm fairly sure it's to do with sex.
and
No, I mean the weed strand.
yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, there's a weed strand called banana split. Yeah.
That just sounds a little bit like, yeah.
Oh, no, hang on. Is it banana sherbet?
Banana
My
sherbet.
mistaken, banana
I
sherbet.
guess the sherbet bit because the crystals on the.
That's a
leaves.
good one, though. That is because
That's
it
quite a good
relaxes you.
Really?
Yeah, and I need one of those where it relaxes me, not
Oh, yeah,
ones that
you
make
have
me go. Ugh,
No,
you know.
I can never get too hyped up on it. When I used to try it, I actually
Yeah.
had to give it up.
So
But yeah,
I didn't smoke for like 5 years, and I'm
Yeah.
like, the price has gone up.
Yeah.
Inflation.
It's gone from 20 to 30.
ridiculous.
Yeah, and everything
Everything's
these little
gone
bit
up.
pre-ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck off. That's got oregano in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, it does.
It's not,
Everything's
it's not
just
cool.
it is
Even
not.
the dealers are up in their price. That's so bad.
It is.
So, even the black market's like, with the house of prices.
Yeah, I know.
It's all suddenly Arabic.
The
but
cost
yeah,
of
like,
living.
Yeah, the cost of living crisis is
Exactly.
hitting the dealers.
Yeah.
We can't afford BMWs anymore. We've got to go running Vauxhalls.
Oh, no. But no, all jokes aside, though, I do feel like weed does have a lot of health benefits to it, especially with people that suffer with their mental health.
Yeah, definitely. I found
in moderation, obviously, not like all day, every day.
No.
But I
Can't
think
do
what the kids
You
of
don't get
today,
sonorised.
what the kids of today are doing wrong is they're smoking it with tobacco. Ew. No.
Yeah, you do that.
No,
used to
this
do
is
that.
it's wrong.
You do
No,
that.
it's the
A
it's the
little-
wrong
little
way of
bit
smoking it.
I smoked with you about 2 years ago, and you're like
3 years ago.
Well, for whatever years
It's the
ago.
wrong way of smoking it, man. You don't get.
And I was like,
Yeah, but that's 'cause
I was like,
I was
let's
going
smoke
through
it
the
straight.
phase.
You're like, no, tobacco, half and half. I'm like,
Well, no,
I hate
I'm a
tobacco.
lightweight on that shit. I barely season it, honestly. Like, if I was to be like,
I'm
if it
pure.
was chicken, you'd think that I'd gone full bland.
Yeah, I don't
You know,
put,
you
I don't
wouldn't
put, I don't
come
put
over
any
again.
tobacco on mine.
No, I don't either. Like literally, pure as anything. It's the
Yeah.
best way to do it.
I mean, I do agree.
It's
with
just
you, 'cause
like, just like my alcohol. When I have rum, when I have whiskey.
yeah, you drank half of mine.
Yeah, I don't.
You just sat there with a bottle. I was like, Marlon, mate, it's my birthday. Right?
You gave it to me. You said you
Of
got
course
rum.
I did, yeah, because like, you're black.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll buy Marlon rum because he's from Jamaica.
Why not?
I'm joking. I didn't. I have a good supply.
But yeah,
I like making cocktails. So yeah,
But my point is, I don't like to mix my rum or whiskey with like Coke or orange juice or something. I'm ruining it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It does ruin it.
Yeah.
You know,
Went to the
it does.
kitchen
You
and
have it. You either have it neat or not at all.
Yeah.
I
You
think
know?
with weed is just because I like to. Cause, I mean, for me, it was always.
I
like
mean,
that.
no, it is. I mean, it's not.
You can roll a small one. They don't need to.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
only rolled like only teeny little normal cigarettes.
Yeah, but roll that like you would.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then like, because I literally have so little in there, it's just like.
What's the point then?
Well,
Yeah.
because I don't want to. I don't like being out of control. So I like, you just want it to kind of like,
Yeah, but you don't have to
just
smoke the
chill
whole
you a little
thing.
bit.
You just have a couple of puffs, put it down, see how you feel.
Smoke it later.
True.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
no.
what I'm saying. It saves you money as well.
Yeah.
It makes it last
It's
longer.
true. It does, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd make.
God, I'm going to get arrested after
Yeah,
this
we're
goes
definitely
out.
incriminating ourselves here, team. Come on.
Last year I was in New York where it's legal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the whole place stinks of it, though. That's the only thing that I would say against the idea of legalising it. Because if, like, I mean, for example, my girlfriend, her neighbours, they're always smoking it. Like, and it's just the whole place just smells of it.
Yeah.
Not her place because she's on a maisonette, but like every time you walk past, every time you're going in the little shared bit at the bottom, it's just all you can smell is that, and you're just like, oh, it's
That is the downside to it. It does put an ink, man. It proper
Yeah,
stinks.
it does.
But
I think if they do what like Amsterdam that have done with the cafes, you have places where you can go. And
Where you
smoke.
That's
can
what
go,
they did in
yeah.
Canada before they legalised it there. I was
The
there
problem
the
with
day
like, the
before.
problem with New York, they don't have a place.
No.
And it's there's
There's
law,
coffee shops,
Their
man.
laws,
Way full.
their laws weird as well over there. So it's
Also,
legal.
you're not going to be judged with you sitting there having a joint there. If you go around the streets and like get a lot of people giving the side eye, I still felt guilty just in New York.
But New York is weird because it's semi illegal as well because it's legal on the state level, but illegal on the federal level. So
Yeah.
you have all these weed stores that are selling weed openly, but they
Yeah.
can't deposit their money in the bank.
But that's like here, though.
Weird.
You can buy all the equipment
Yeah.
to grow weed and
Yeah.
that, but you just can't grow it. You can
It's
even buy
weird.
the seeds, you just can't grow them. It's
Yeah.
like, what's the flipping point? It's such a contradictory law. It's ridiculous, man. I think everywhere's like that in the world, though. It's just contradictory laws.
But also,
you
when you
know?
know that there's cocaine on the seats of Whitehall,
Yeah.
like you're just like, well, come on, guys. Like who the fuck are you kidding?
Yeah.
I mean, I take ADHD medication. It's class B.
Yeah.
Weed's class C. But for some reason, like me taking an upper in the morning, every morning I take like 50 milligrams of methamphetamine, basically.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I mean, it doesn't do anything to me because that's what it's there for, is to kind of up my dopamine a little bit. But, like, the idea of having a joint, like, at the end of the night, after a long day at work and whatever, you come home, you have a little, teeny tiny joint and just enjoy your pizza like you've never enjoyed anything.
Yeah.
Watch a movie that's really dumb and just switch off.
Yeah, don't worry about
There's
those
nothing
aches
wrong
and
with that.
pains that you've been having all day.
and like,
you know?
I mean, when I was going through my CPTSD, I spent about a year rebuilding my flat, and I was doing a bit of freelance work, but I wasn't I purposely gave myself a year to just get my head around it. Otherwise, I knew that the stress of work and the next job would just, it wouldn't work out, and I'd end up crashing and burning again. So I was like, all right, I need to be strategic about this. Gave myself some time, and which was a wise thing to do. But
Yeah.
I had nothing to do for a little while. Like I do my work in the mornings, that would take me 2 hours, and after that, you're just like, all right, well, I've got a stable income, I've got like everything I need. Just kind of have a little joint, but then the rest of the day, I went for a walk around around my area, and it's beautiful, and you appreciate the world around you a bit more. And it's just nice, and people are friendly, and
it is. I mean, like, I don't agree.
I do feel a little bit naughty though. I always feel a little bit naughty.
But as long as you live honestly and you don't want any harm to come to anyone, then who the hell is anyone to judge? You know, how you use things. You know, as I say, we'd over sertraline or citalopram or anything anyway, any day, which I was on, which made me feel worse.
Oh, it's horrible. And the side effects are just unreal.
They're horrible. They make you feel like you want to commit suicide and stuff like that.
Which is ironic considering it's an antidepressant.
Yeah.
Well, no, there's nothing wrong with blurting that out.
That's what I'm saying. I know, but you know what how sensitive flipping social media is now.
Yeah, oh God, no,
and that's what I'm saying. Like, they put that's legal.
Yeah.
You know, that's legal, but then that's illegal. It don't make sense, does it?
Especially if they can regulate the amount of THC that's in it as well, then that makes more sense, because then you know what you're getting. Because half the time, if you go and get it from the streets, you don't know what you're getting. I mean, I've had this, I've had batches where, my old dealer, he gave me, it was a lovely bloke, really nice guy. But there were times when, I'd try it and the next day I'd feel like absolute shit. About myself, I feel like crap. Not because of my emotions so much, but because the come down was just weird. Yeah. And then you get some other stuff that's really good, and you just the next day you wake up and you're like,
then you can't always get the same thing all the time as well, and that's
it's inconsistent.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't understand what the percentages of the THC. When I was in New York, I was so confused. It'd be like, this is 0. whatever. Smoke it, knocks my socks off, and then I buy another one, 0 whatever, and it doesn't do anything. I'm sober, and I'm like, what?
I took one token, I'd shoot myself.
You never get the same strand, do you, or the same brand?
So if you have a few drinks beforehand, and then you're like, oh yeah, this will be fun.
Yeah. So when you saying about the percentages, how did that work?
Well, no, I mean, I think that, like when the thing is that people here aren't really experts in it, but when I was in Canada, it was the day before it went legal. So my ex and I were out there, and we went into a shop being like, come on, let's just break the law one last time. Who cares? We're going home in like a week or two. And we were there for ages, but it was great. And we went in there, had a chat with them, and we're just like, and this woman who's definitely been stoned for most of her life goes, have you tried the Ducada? But for $5, you get a little joint that's been rolled by somebody else, which I'd never like doing. I normally want to know what's in what I'm putting in my body, 100%. But then it's like, so, if I ever rolled it, I prefer to do that way. What's weak to me isn't necessarily what's weak to someone else.
Which is fair enough. You do how you feel it's better. It's
it's like if you're gonna make a cocktail, make it yourself. That kind of thing. But
I mean, I'd rather smoke a joint than drink alcohol.
Me too,
and it's much healthier for you as well. I think. Yeah, because that's gonna fuck up our livers.
You don't wake up with a hangover as well.
No, exactly. But if they legalise weed, though, Mr. Pharmaceutical will be out of business.
Yeah, well, straight away.
100%.
And then also, so would half the alcohol. It would impact the alcohol industry. In fact, actually, apparently, the people who are campaigning against it being legalised the most are the ones who are supplying the illegal trade, because then that will get regulated and then everyone can grow it.
I probably would smoke a joint instead of having a bottle of wine.
Yeah, 100%. I hate wine.
I would treat it like a nightcap.
Wine.
Don't like wine?
No, it's like tasting off vinegar.
I used to hate wine as well. I got into it.
I don't like it.
I'm fairly sure you tried a few. I mean, like East End.
Did I tell you when I was in Jamaica that I bought weed off the bartender?
I'm not surprised. Everyone's
for the record, he didn't tell me that his wife's pregnant for 5 months. The way he announced it on the group chat this week was he put up the baby, like when they do the sort of, we're having a baby. Yeah. Give us all your money. Here's the gift list. He just posted the gift list without any sort of explanation. I clicked it. I was like, not going to happen, you prick. Like, £12 for a baby grow. Get fucked.
Need that baby stroller, mate.
I'm not being your baby stroller. It's 350 quid.
I didn't say one word. I just posted the list.
Is this your first child?
Yeah. It was all from fucking Waitrose. Nice try. I'm not going to John Lewis. Oliver Bonus. Fuck off. It's like, you can get
you're 10 for a you're sort of right. I should probably put some other stuff on me as well, like film equipment. And
do a baby shower and then...
I got suspicious when we got to the bottom. It's like, new tripod, not plastic.
That's where you should really do a baby shower, and then, like, obviously people feel they have to bring gifts.
Yeah, that's what my wife is doing already. She's got it all set up.
There you go then.
You should do like a dad shower. So, like get your proper headphones when they're screaming at you. The wife or the child. It doesn't really make a difference.
A couple of packs of Pro Plus because you're going to need it, man.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
You're going to need it.
I don't sleep.
4 in the morning, he'll be calling me, being like,
you're not asleep baby, you'll be like, I'm tired, I want to go sleep.
He's already like that. He's not got doe eyes, he's just knackered.
I remember those sleepless nights. I'd never do them again.
Really?
No.
You did it twice?
I've done it twice, I know, exactly. I've got 2. I don't need any more.
Yeah, I think 2's enough. I mean, I think that was enough for my parents as well. Accidental Andy came along and... he didn't know that he was an accident until my 22nd.
You were a good accident, though.
So how did how did your brother find out?
Because I was like, Mum, best accident you've ever... I was having breakfast, lunch, birthday breakfast. Mum made a big fry-up and everything. We were all living together. at the time, and because we'd just come back from uni and that, and it's like £1,200 for a flat. Why? I've got a room here. My food's paid for. Fuck that. Anyway, so I don't still live with them, but like I have my own flat. But the point is that I'm sitting there having dinner, having breakfast. I'm like, yeah, Mum, best accident you've ever had. She goes, oh, you weren't the accident. And my brother's sitting there like, the fuck.
Oh God.
So now he's called Accidental Andy.
Oh well, if his name begins with
like
A, Accidental Andy, it's inevitable that was going to be his nickname.
Oh, 100%. He doesn't know that's his nickname. So if you're watching, Andy, sorry. That's right. I'll break the fourth wall. I don't give a fuck. So all right. So we decide our drug addictions aside. I don't have a drug addiction. What am I saying? Although I did notice that because I gave up weed about sort of 2-3 months ago, because I kind of just got to that point where I was a bit like, well, I wanted this job, and and the criteria include don't you're gonna get drugs.
Don't be on drugs.
Yeah, you got to get drugs tested, so don't do anything naughty.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, fine. I really want this job, so I'm just gonna put it to one side, and I'm not gonna touch again. And I've done that, which, to be fair, quite proud of myself for, because it is nice, but at the same time, so is having a cool job. But my point is, though, that where are we going with this? Fuck, I blanked.
Do we all agree that weed should be legalised?
Absolutely, yes.
Yes, hands up.
Yes. Yeah, and also it would take a lot of pressure off. But the only reason that they made it illegal in the first place in the States, I think Hoover said it, was that they wanted to target minorities and they couldn't target them for being black and brown. So they went for the drug that they tend to be most likely to have, and that's why they kept busting them. And then they could fill the prisons with slave labour, basically, and no problem at all. And he admitted that openly, and this was like in the 60s that he said that.
That's what I'm saying. What I was saying earlier, human beings, what they'll inflict on another human being is... it's evil.
It's evil. Yeah,
it is evil. But there is always good in evil. Like you wouldn't know beauty without the ugly.
Yeah.
And
art is pain.
Yeah, art is pain. So just choose your decisions wisely. And that's the thing. We all have a choice. We don't have to do something a certain way. Like with the acting and that, they're like most people are very driven by their fame, being famous and all that. And the way I see it is, what do you call it? I've lost my trail of thought now. That's it. Fame encompasses judgment, And what I mean by that is that everyone just gets so lost in becoming a brand just so they can get the likes, so they can get people looking at them, and then they lose their passion.
Yeah.
For why they were doing it in the first place. And it's like, if you're doing it for fame. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. If you're doing it for fame,
you say then you're 130,000 followers, but yes.
Yeah. That was purely by accident, though, and they're all organic, never paid for one.
So do you want to go into that?
Yeah, go on. Tell us how that happens.
TikTok, right.
Sorry, you have over 130,000 TikTok followers.
Yeah.
I was shocked when I found that out.
To be fair, though, I do like quite a few of the pictures. I mean, I didn't because I didn't want to look like a creep, but I was like, when I was in the research, I was like sitting there going through your Instagram because I'm old school. And,
that's all good.
Yeah, and I was like, wow. Great. I mean, there's a lot of very good pictures in there.
Thank you. Yes, I appreciate that.
I didn't want to sound like a creep.
No, you don't sound like a creep because I know you're not a creep.
I do want to ask about the DM thing, like what the weirdest DM you've ever had is. Yes, we're on gold. Come on, hold still, because this one's going to be in the reels.
So the weirdest, I've had a few, to be honest.
Tell us all.
The weirdest one is I will give you $5,000 a week if just for you to just text me. And I was like,
I'd have done that.
I was like,
I text you what?
Yeah. Just text them, be their company and all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Did you watch EastEnders and stuff like that?
I don't know,
what did you have for dinner?
Yeah, what are you up to?
Chilling.
I don't know. I mean, I suppose it was like that story in EastEnders with Stacey and that creepy guy. I don't know if you watch it.
No, I don't watch it.
But she had a stalker problem in it, and he was teaching her daughter, sort of home tutoring her daughter. Right. And she was, at night, to earn a little bit of money, she was going on cam, like on OnlyFans, yeah. And she was talking to someone, didn't realise...
We're going to get a comment like, is she got an OnlyFans or something like that? Sorry, not to be lewd.
No,
I'm trying my best not to be sleazy.
No, it's fine. But no, that's fine. You can ask that. I don't have one. No.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
If you want my OnlyFans...
yeah, go on.
Go on, no, I don't have
no?
I don't think it sells for blokes as well.
What? Oh, you'd be surprised.
Really?
You'd be surprised. Yeah.
Well, anybody listening? Do you want Lev to set up OnlyFans?
Yeah.
I don't know what I'd do really. I just kind of I
He would do anything.
That's a work.
You haven't got a job at the moment, and he would do anything. So
whoa, okay, first
let us
throw
know.
me under the bus, you prick. You know, like, I helped you with one fucking thing. Little mister, you need to believe in yourself. But
he'll do anything.
He won't do anything. Like, that's the problem. I won't do anything. I say that. I've been interviewing lately.
So what are you saying?
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Go
Oh, what about TikTok? Yeah,
TikTok. Yes, 130 followers.
Right.
130 followers.
You know, obviously, old Boris Johnson said, "Yeah, you're all locked down. You can't go out. You can't do this. Everything locked down." And you know, it really hit the entertainment industry big time.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that as well.
You know, yeah, and it was horrible.
That,
you
and
know?
also the Me Too thing. I wanted to get into that at some point.
Let's
It's going to be great. All right, sorry. One thing at a time. I'm going to.
Yeah. So, and then, like, you know, I'm sitting there. I'm like miserable and bored. I've read book after book after book. You know. And yeah, my daughter was just doing. It was called Musically at first, I think.
Musically?
I believe. Yeah,
What,
I think it was called. Yeah, it was good before it was TikTok. It was called Musically.
Really?
I think.
Well, they changed
But yeah, she was doing like these little dances and that, and I'm like, "What are you doing? Oh, what is that app?" She goes, "Oh, it's TikTok." And I said, "What's TikTok?" She said, "Oh, look," and then she was just showing me, and then we just started. She goes, "You can do this dance with me," and I went, "All right then." I did this dance with her, and I was like, "Oh, okay." And then I was having a little scroll through. She goes, "Yeah, you can do like sort of lip syncing and stuff to things." And then Only Fools and Horses come, and I was like,
Yes.
right, you know, Only Fools and Horses is my jam jar, so I'm gonna.
My jam jar.
Yeah, it is. It's my jam jar. I'm gonna get on with this, like, you know, because I thought.
Sorry, I haven't heard that one before. That just tickled me. That tickled me. I like that.
Oh right. Yeah.
Cockneys, what the fuck?
We're a different breed. What can I say? Far and few now as well.
Jam. I wonder what that was about. Actually, this is my jam.
Yeah, it's my jam jar.
I just think about like this is sort of my.
Like, this is my bar. This is my jam jar. This is my jam.
So from Surrey. Feeling my poshness. Okay, all right, go on.
Your
All right,
poshness.
never mind. Yeah. All right, no, sorry. All right. Go on.
It's all good. No,
you're like, this is my jam jar.
This is my jam jar, and then like, yeah.
So when you first went on TikTok, was it your daughter's account or was it yours?
It was mine. Like, no, it was my daughter's one first. We're doing the dances and that, and then I made my own.
Right.
So yeah, I just started doing like Only Fools and Horses, and then I started doing like Nana Taylor, you know, from the Catherine Tate show. Oh, big up Catherine Tate. Love
she's
her.
great, yeah.
She's amazing. She's so funny.
I liked her in Doctor Who the most.
Did you?
Yeah, I don't know why.
See, I was never a fan of Doctor Who.
Me too.
What, even during the Tennant era?
No, I've never.
I mean, nowadays it's gone off the rails, but like, you know, it's a bit too woke for me
I
now,
just
but-
never ever liked Doctor Who. Like, never ever did.
Me too.
Yeah.
So
Like,
maybe
I
I've
was
distracted you
more.
from that.
I mean, I didn't really sort of like any of that stuff when I was younger.
No, we can't
I mean,
talk
but then
about
Game
that.
of Thrones come out, and that was it. Like,
Oh.
I love Game of Thrones. I mean,
Yeah,
I was very
apart from season
sceptical.
8. Season 8 was bad. Did you want us to touch more?
Touch,
Go on, just
tiny.
there's not that much
teeny
left anyway, so yeah.
Yeah,
All right, there you go, mate.
Thank you.
Do you want a smidge?
Oh,
How much have I got left? I've only got like a tiny dribble, so I'm not being tight. All right.
It's all right. There we go.
Yeah, I brought it here. She doesn't know.
So yeah, and then as I was just putting it up, and then people just seemed to like it.
Right.
You know, I was getting lots of views.
good fun, isn't it?
Yeah, and I was just like,
It's old school as
flipping
well.
hell,
It's got
yeah.
you get two demographics there.
That's what I'm thinking. I think the algorithm was pointing me towards all like the old school and that, because well, you know, they were looking, when you're looking through TikTok, you're looking at all the, you know, the kids doing stuff and everything, and then like the over 30s just took it over.
Really?
Yeah, they just took it over.
Teenager thing.
So how did you get to 130? Was it overnight? Like you just did a video and it went, it shot up to 130, or was it gradual?
It was I mean, it done a big chunk and then was gradual after that, and I think it depends on what you're doing really, like, you know. And I mean, my TikTok is like full of everything, so it's, you know, I'll do lip syncs, I'll do like ranting about things, you know.
Love a good rant.
Yeah,
Everyone loves
love
a
a
rant.
good
Very
rant.
British.
What's your most popular video then?
Oh, the South Park one that I did.
Park?
Lip
love
sync to
South
South. I love
South
South Park
Park.
and all. It's the one where Mr. He's in Mr. Garrison and he calls him what is it? Don't call me fat, you big stupid Jew or something like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Like, and then he got, and it was just that one I did, and I just remember it when I was little, and I was just thinking about when I was young, when I was watching that, and mischievous it was like, oh, I'm watching this and I shouldn't be, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't
Simpsons all the way.
understand it. I didn't understand it when I was little. I used to watch it as well because people in my class used to talk about it, but I didn't get the jokes. And then I watched it when I was older. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
How was I watching this at 10 years
I
old?
know, but I think you look at it differently as a 10-year-old. Do you know what I mean?
I just
I
like
do
swearing.
as
I
well.
was naughty, and then it was like, as an adult, you're like, you know, that's fantastic.
I just love how close to the mark they go. They do.
Oh yeah.
You know,
They're not
doing
scared.
such a
they're not scared to do it, and they're doing it because not to be like malicious to the world. It's just funny. It's old school.
And they go at everybody. So it's not like we're not just attacking like Jewish people or black people. They go at everybody.
Yeah, I mean, like they even had a go at Harry and Meghan.
Oh yeah. It's like
privacy.
Right. That was brilliant.
Yeah,
I love that.
We want privacy.
Yeah, privacy.
The blue dick on the window.
That's in the book, right?
Yeah, the blue dick on the window.
There's a blue dick on the window.
No, but in the book,
episode.
he talks about something about his dick as well.
Yeah, like having frostbite.
Who wants to see Harry? Well, Meghan
Well,
apparently.
but
quite a
this
few
is
people
what I
probably
think.
do.
My opinion is of that. Yeah, like I hope
Why
I don't
would
get.
you write about your penis in a book when you're an ex-royal?
I don't know.
I mean, talk about breaking with tradition. They don't talk about shit. I think their entire.
I can't remember what it was about, but he was talking about his dick.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't read the book. I'm only just going by what people have said about it. But even now, like thinking about that, it's like, why would you mention that in your memoir?
I wouldn't.
You know,
put that in. Like, yeah, I mean,
like,
I'm an
spare,
oversharer.
You know, it's just like you're basically you seem like a perpetulant child now, and she's just his missus is the driving force behind that. She's like she's igniting that. She's encouraging it.
I was with them in the beginning.
So was I. I loved it.
And then
I mean, I was working for the Sun at the time.
even when they left the roof, I was like, fine, you're not a slave. If you want to go, if you want to fuck off to America and do your life,
exactly.
do it.
Yeah, but I can see why he would be against being part of that because they killed his mum.
Yeah, I get that. I fully get that. But then the other stuff of throwing your family under the bus, I don't like.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But the thing is, though, Meghan knew what she was doing when she got with Harry and married into him. If you marry into the monarchy, you serve the sovereign.
Yeah.
You know, that is what you do, and it's not about being a slave. It's just it's your birthright.
Yeah, you have like 4 palaces. We have tiny mini houses. We pay for it.
What's that thing from the documentary that I didn't know who Harry was? Like he asked me out on a date. He asked me out on a date. I had no idea what a prince was. I had no idea who Harry was.
Yeah, she happened to wear the same perfume that his mum wore as well. And it's just like, you did your research, you narcissistic.
But I mean, like, everybody in this day and age does research on whoever they're going on a date with.
We're gonna get nobody from the royals.
Nobody just goes on a date anymore.
Of course they do. They even have Claire's Law now, don't they? Where you can research about someone.
Well, actually, I purposely didn't Google my missus.
I met my wife on Tinder, like, 8 years ago, and then I remember like we're dating, and I said to her, I showed her my Facebook, and she's like, I've already seen your Facebook. All over that ages ago.
Nothing will research you more than a woman. I mean, oh my god.
No.
Actually, as a journalist,
long before she
if I couldn't find someone,
she was all over that.
No, when I was a journalist, I was like, I hit this snag where I couldn't find somebody, and my I used to work with a lot of teenagers, and they, the reason I've got my Instagram is because they kept trying to add me on Facebook. I was like, no, I don't want you seeing the pictures of me when I was your age. Yeah. So I set up my Instagram, and I was like, look, guys, if you really are going to stalk me, when they did, I was like, look, here's my Instagram, and I could control the content, make sure it was appropriate, and also remember my time there. And I'll tell you what, every now and then, like when I was a bit like, well, I can't find this person, I need to find soon. Messaged one of my students. And being like, the ones that I really did form a good relationship with. I'd be like, I need a favour. And like, yes, sir, anything for you. You taught us English. And I'm like, perfect. They'd find them in 25 seconds. Honest to God, I'm not even exaggerating. I would have their full everything. And it's so impressive. Yeah. Nothing will find you faster than a teenage girl.
Oh no, never underestimate a teenage person these day and age with the internet when they're let loose on the internet. Jesus.
Oh my God! I mean, they are native. They're natives. We're just visiting compared to them. I mean, Jesus.
I'm from the MSN days.
Yeah, same. That's how I learned to type. My mum was like, "They'll never help you." I'm a writer.
I mean, that's how I met my husband as well. On MSN, MSN chat.
I accidentally set up a friend of mine. They've got their second kid now because I liked the girl. Yeah. And then I introduced them, and then they kind of hit it off big time. And I was like, oh. I think it probably came up in their wedding speech. I didn't even get invited to the wedding. I was like, I'm responsible for this bullshit.
Well, that sucks.
Well, I mean, we're no longer. Yeah, I mean, we don't. People be bumping.
Yeah.
One
of them ones.
It's like, we haven't been partying in a few years, but yeah, still. Probably because he married her. It's fine. I've got a girlfriend. But anyway, all right. So, one of the things I wanted to get back to actually from what you're saying about, because I know that you've written a few bits, including Broken Promises, which is your film, and that took you about 2 years to write, did it? What was that about?
So Broken Promises, basically what it was, all that came about is there weren't no opportunities really. When you're an
It's
actor.
around about the COVID time, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, Broken Promises weren't. It was way before COVID.
Oh, really?
It's
Oh, yeah, 2018. Of
2018,
course, yeah. Beg your pardon. Sorry.
So, like, no opportunities were coming in for me, and I weren't getting any work or anything like that. And, and it's just like, how can I turn this around where I'm going to get more interest in and I can show what I can bring to a table? So I thought,
weird
you
to
know
see
what?
on the screen for the IMDb and then also see you there.
That's fine.
He's checking on the movies. Go on.
It's all good. So, I just thought, you know what? If, it boils back to what I said earlier, you've got to do it yourself. Of course, so you've got to make your own, So that's what I did. I wrote a little script. I got a team together. These guys called Bulldog Films and Fabrication Images. I was working with them on something before, and they agreed to come in and help me. They filmed this, and it all came out of my own pocket and everything. Wrote the script. I did all their food, like everyone's food.
You did the food.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? I've done everything. I've done everything. Like,
what do you mean? Order it or cook it yourself?
No, I've done sandwiches.
Sandwiches. It's like if it was me, a big pot of curry.
And I took everyone out, and we obviously had food and everything like that.
That's lovely.
No, but they were doing me a favour by doing that. I had no clue, and they were giving me their knowledge and expertise, and I appreciated it, and I wanted to show that.
It's really noble.
And we've entered it into festivals, and I won 6 awards for it, which I was thank you. I was so surprised at that, really. I mean, I won 2 Best Actress, Best Score, Best Short, and Best Director. So, yeah.
Wow. That's like an Adele sweep.
Yeah, and ever since I did that, I got more work from that.
Well, yeah. I mean, as soon as you put the words award-winning in your CV, like...
Yeah, I wanted to showcase a skill that I had as well, and I'd done an American accent in it.
Oh. Really?
Yeah.
What was it like then?
They weren't that bad.
They weren't that bad.
No.
Whereabouts in America did you base your character?
Oh, just a standard California.
California.
Yeah.
I don't know why they always end with an inflection. And it's just like,
I thought about doing a bit of Texas, but
it's a little bit. I wouldn't. I think you made the right decision.
How did you learn how to do American accent?
Watching so many TV shows like Friends. Friends is the one where you learn everything. But you don't. But some of them ain't though. Some of them ain't New York.
Fair point.
They don't. Yeah, some of them are not from New York. They can't be. Yeah,
no,
Friends.
I don't think all of them are.
Yeah, see, and just like programs.
Oh, for God's sake, you and the bloody laptop.
Films and all that sort of stuff. I mean, like I like the film. Like Terminator, Predator, like all the old school stuff, and. And that's what I used to do. Instead of watching a film, I'd study it. I'm the worst person to watch film with, especially when you're an actor as well, because you're learning from it. You're studying. Every day's a school day, Yeah,
that's like me, because I did like film. When I'm watching a film, I'm like, oh, that's a nice camera angle.
Yeah.
I wonder how they did that.
Yeah. Oh, look, continuity error.
Yeah.
I'm that person. I'm well bad.
What's that one? It's like Cinema Sins. I really love that guy.
I used to love that. Yeah,
it's great. But like, I managed to ruin not Married at First Sight. What was the other one? Love Is Blind. Because there was this guy it was like the Australian one. And when me and my girlfriend first met, I mean, I hate that kind of trash. But like we sat there, we watched it, and after a little while, I was like, hang on, this is so fucking scripted. I was like, this guy's an actor. There's no way in hell. And I tore it apart. I was like, no man in his right mind gets down on one knee on a boat to say, I want you back, baby, be mine. I've loved you ever since I met you. And it's so over the top. I just sat there and I was like, I can't take this seriously anymore. Like, I don't believe any of this. No, and then I told her and she was like, great, now it's ruined.
Like Roadhouse. That was just a catastrophe.
Yeah. 2 of the friends are from Los Angeles.
There you go, see, LA.
A bit of research.
Yeah, California,
yay. Anyway, right, go on. Okay, so tell us more about Broken Promises.
Yeah.
What's the premise? What was it like for
you? The backstory is she's a foreigner that comes to England, doesn't know anyone, and then she meets this man who's also a foreigner from Ireland, and they meet each other, and he goes in the army, but when he goes in the army, she's pregnant, but he has to go, and she has the baby, and as she's had the baby, and that obviously a soldier comes to deliver the news. Like what they do, they deliver the news when someone's been killed in action. So but all it is about is her telling her son or the baby when he's older about his father, because it's too painful for her to talk about. But then she ends up delving into him, and then there's a little twist at the end. I'm not going to spoil it. For those that haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it.
So hold on, let me get this straight. So it's based in England, but you played an American character. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
More work. You created more work for yourself.
Because, but you got to think though, like your surroundings of that. It's not very American, is it? It's very English. So I thought, how could I, go? Because I haven't got the budget to go to live in America. Not at that time anyway. So I thought, how could I do? Did
you pretend it was set in America? So was it set in America?
No, it weren't set in America. It's set in England. So she's a foreign. She explained she's a foreign exchange student that comes here in England to learn, and he was the same. So he comes from Ireland. So and it's as I say, I just went with it, but it worked.
It seems to.
However crazy it might have sounded,
it's definitely worked.
Can I ask you, how did you go about raising the budget for an independent
I just paid
film?
for it out of my own pocket.
How much you saved up?
Yeah, saved up. Yeah, the old school way. Yeah.
Wow.
What the budget for the whole film?
Probably. And did you make a return on it?
Not really, no. But the return I get from it is the fact that it got me more opportunity, and that is worth more money, than money.
That was like with one of my projects. Yeah, we went away to Chile, cost like $5,000, and we got about 150 quid.
Yeah, mine was about 2.5. That was it's $2.5 Yeah, because I used my own house as well.
Fair enough.
With it, props and that I got off Amazon.
Place to get 'em.
Yeah, exactly, and the actors and that. They took minimum of what I offered.
So it's the $2,000 to pay the actors as well.
Yeah, that is pay. Yeah, to obviously feed them and everything like that. Yeah, I tried to do everything
really
properly.
Budget.
Yeah,
I mean that's really smart.
I'm a woman, of course,
well,
and I had to do everything on my own. I know how to budget.
Yeah. So how many people do you have in this film?
So there's me, Ray, Ryan, Matt,
Thomas. So the
Tom Harris.
Tom.
University.
It's seven main characters altogether. Yeah,
that's quite a script as well. So you wrote it as well.
Yeah.
Like, how long was the script?
So the film's 13 minutes long. So I think I can't really remember off the top of my head how many pages there were.
It's usually a minute a page. Page a minute or something.
Yeah, one of our last guests, she's done something.
Probably about 15 pages then. Yeah.
It's well good.
Yeah,
really
as I say,
impressive.
it ain't the. I mean, if you ever do watch it, if you're interested,
well, send it over.
It's not the greatest,
we'll put it up on our thing,
but it's all
on the.
You can get it on YouTube as well. I'll send you the link to it.
Yeah, we'll link to it.
Yeah, it's as I say, it was all about learning. It's not the greatest or anything. There are going to be a few mistakes, but. I say you learn though. Do you know what I mean? I say you learn through the future. Yeah.
And also, I mean, the fact that
did you also have to pay a videographer, or did you do that yourself?
No, they offered to help me. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it was really sweet of them, but I'd help them as well. So it's almost like you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
That's a really good community sort of vibe as well.
And you don't really get that now in the film industry. Everyone's out for themselves.
Yeah,
they are.
Society's become a little bit.
It is, and that's what I was saying earlier about people forget their passion. It's like people just want to be a brand, and look at me, and then look at me in this film. It's like look at my brand, and it's like. Why are you doing this? I thought you wanted to be an actor. To be an actor, you have to have passion. And without passion, you can't tell a story.
No.
Authentically.
No, and also without having had an experience in life that isn't just I went on, did a few. I went on online, and then all of a sudden I'm famous, and now brands are giving me 20.
Exactly, and it comes down to the crying as well. When you cry about something, when I've cried in things that I've done, then I'm not lying.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is
it's a very tough thing to do.
It comes from a real place, and also and you can't make it look like one tear from one eye coming down. That's not authentic.
No one's gonna buy
You've
that.
got to be swallowing back your tears, and that's real emotion.
It's like when you
so when you cry on screen, you channel actual.
I'm channeling something that's way deep in there. As I said, I used to dwell on things that my flashbacks would come back and. I'd be in bits. I'd be sitting there in bits. No, not on set.
I was going to say.
I'd be in bits indoors and that. But then I flipped it round and I thought, I'm gonna get that out when I want to, not when it wants, to attack me.
How does that affect you when you're working though? If you're gonna have to channel real emotion, because I'd be
probably the last one of the day, wouldn't it?
I think we're all broken down and cry before in life, and you don't just break down and cry and then go back to normal. You're you need a little time to recover from it.
You're exhausted. Yeah. You're so exhausted. When I
emotional exhaustion is quite a lot as well, isn't it? Because you have to really, as you say.
You really have to dig deep. Yeah.
That must be very hard.
It is hard. I'm not going to say
that's the hardest thing about acting.
No, the hardest thing about acting is who you're working with.
Oh.
Yeah. People. It's not even just the people as people. It's their style. You know, like say if someone's wooden, or if they're, you know, just like, oh, I fancy myself as being an actor today, like you know, Conor McGregor. But anyway,
why did everybody go into him?
Why? I mean, to be fair, he is ripped in that thing. I mean, you know, he definitely...
And he's a brand. Everyone watches him.
Is the film out?
The film's out.
Did you do a good job or not?
His acting was terrible, but you know, if you want a good trash watch, then yeah, great. You know what I mean? But I think as an actor watching that, seeing him just walk into it like that, it's...
Well, how does that feel? How does that feel when you see people who are not actually trained actors getting big, like starring roles, like a rapper, like a 50 Cent or Will Smith, people who didn't necessarily start from the bottom?
Will Smith, yeah, he was an actor. I mean, 50 Cent, I mean, give it to him. He studied it. Do you know what I mean?
Will Smith did skip the line through his rap career. He didn't start from the beginning.
He said he was going outside.
No, he was.
But then he's a rapper. Yeah, but the thing is, though, he has had experience with filming.
And now,
deep.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
seen in Fresh Prince where it's like.
But I mean, he went from nobody to start. He went from a rapper to starring in a show. So that doesn't naturally happen.
But then with the rap game and stuff like that, like, you know, that is art because they're being poetic and that, and also they've got experience with cameras and acting and that in music videos. So. You know,
it does kind of blend into it.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's you always get that crossover, which is understandable. It's those that, like, you know, that have come out like, oh yeah, I'm a brand, you know,
a bit like the Jordans of the world.
And that's when I feel like it's unfair because you get people that have worked so hard that have not come. They haven't come with
the line.
Exactly, they don't come with a silver spoon in their mouth. They've had to like literally go blood, sweat, and tears just to get somewhere, but then they just come trottling over them like, it's because my mummy and daddy are rich, or because I'm a brand, or I'm on this reality show, and I don't think that's fair.
And I don't get me wrong,
to their own.
I do believe they're like rappers or other artists that take it seriously. They'll start from wherever level and then work their way up to being a starring role. But then there are some people that, because they're such a big star doing something else, they can just now star in a film.
Yeah.
Where somebody like you, for example, would have to work their way from the bottom.
Oh yeah,
but they've already got the name. Yeah, that's the thing, because they've got the name already, so therefore it's guaranteed to an audience. Yeah, they're following. I mean, for example, like, you know.
But it must be frustrating as somebody who's trained in that profession.
Yeah, so if Taylor Swift's in the thing, then everyone's like, "Oh, I'm a Swiftie," and they've already got.
Or like a Beyonce just gets to star in a film.
I mean, she's doing country music now. I mean, I'm not being funny to her. She's got a great voice and everything. Leave country alone.
Yeah.
Leave it alone.
You don't have to work your way up in anything.
No, you don't need to dominate everything, darling. You know what I mean? You already dominate the industry. Leave for certain things alone for other people to have a chance. You know? But then again, though, when it's money, no one gives a crap. You know what I mean?
I guess it's the same thing with what we do. So we have to do like
3,000 people at
no, but hold on. Let me have my point.
That's still good though.
We're doing decent. We're doing well compared to Verse. It was like, I remember it was 100s. We're like, yes, we got 100.
But what I'm saying is like,
so lovely.
What I'm saying, we have to start from nothing and then like work our way up. But like somebody who's like, I don't know, like Peter Crouch, for example, footballer.
Oh yeah, we get him
to have a hit podcast straight away. Not to say he's not. Not to say he doesn't have a good podcast. I'm just saying it immediately gets success
because of his brand, because of what he's done before. You know, and that's always gonna overtake anyone that's just like.
He doesn't have to start from like 20 views or work your way up. He can get start with a million views.
It's quite a saturated market, to be fair, and I think
exactly. And you have to make
sure. Find a way around. Like, I think that's the other thing about modernity is that it's like. For example, you know, I mean, you ended up with 130,000. I'm not using you as a bad example.
No, it's fine.
But like, you know, like, so for example, and then, you know, like now we're kind of, I mean, like we're in a position where it's like,
that's built up over time though.
Yeah, exactly. It's taken a long time.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, it took 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
So what's your highest viewing video? Well, like what?
You already asked her.
No, I said views of video. I asked her the popular video.
They're the most popular, so that's why it was that one is 1.2 million.
Right.
Fucking Christ.
Yeah.
See, different question.
That's more than like, that's, okay, so I was working the Sun's coronavirus live blog at the height of the pandemic. We were on 200,000 viewers per night.
Wow.
So you've now eclipsed that.
I didn't pay for it or anything like that. I know like some people pay for their viewage and that, but as if I'm going to spend money on that. You know what I mean? There's more important things to spend. And it just, it literally, I don't know how it's happened.
Did you make any money from it?
Yeah, you can earn money from it,
How much did you make for the 1.2 mil? If you don't mind me asking, I mean,
Sorry, before you even answer that question, how does the financial side of TikTok work?
It's like basically if you get like over 1,000 views or whatever, you get like a couple of quids per 1,000 views or whatever. Yeah, so it's not much. It's not really much. It's not much, and I think it depends on your followers as well. I mean, there's plenty out there have got even more followers, and like their algorithm attacks their like people, whereas mine is still a little bit sporadic. I'm still working out how it works, but it's the lives that they get the most money from.
I heard about that.
The lives, which I don't really do lives that much.
It's a bit of a weird thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because, I know there was this girl when I was at the Yankees Stadium and I was watching my first ever baseball game, and the barmaid was talking underneath the bar, and we were like, what the hell? And she's like, I'm trying to make my side hustle. And they were like, and she was doing a TikTok live, and there was about 300 people, including us by the end of it, because we were just like, what the fuck is this? Doing the whole, watching her 10 bar at the Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
She didn't even put lime in the gin and tonic that I ordered. I was like, are you me?
No.
You're like, if you're going to make this live, mate, you do a good job.
Yeah, you got to garnish it as well, make it look pretty.
Did she squeeze the lime? Did she fuck? I was like, I was like, oh, back you go, love. Come on. I'm not having this. There are standards. I won't complain under any circumstances, but under that circumstance, I was like, I paid $20 for this stuff. Go on, back you go.
Yeah, but I don't do, that's what I'm saying. It comes back to passion again. I don't do all that for the money. And that I'm not money orientated. I never have been, because when you've never had it, you don't miss it.
Yeah,
and that's why I'm very passion driven. And also with that, as I said earlier, when I work with these kids at the Underdog crew as well, I want to give back with what I've learned and teach them and reassure them that I was one of you 20 years ago. Drama school and being born with a silver spoon in your mouth doesn't mean that you can't make it in this world.
Absolutely.
You are just as much you've just got as much of a right as anyone else that's gone to flipping
the Brits and that.
Yeah, Yale or whatever it is,
That's expensive.
What's the one in England? Eton.
That's Eton,
it. Eton,
I think it's the most prime ministers in the country, in history have come from Eton. So it's a little bit of a conveyor belt, that one. Yeah, it's like, well, do we really want the people who still have nannies at the age of 18?
Let's just not go there with politicians and politics.
Yeah. Sorry, politics is off the list.
Yeah, that is scrapped off the list. Yep. I know what you mean though. That's what I'm saying. And but kids like that feel like they haven't got a chance in hell because no one's going to listen to them because of where they come from.
Yeah,
it's I want to be that voice for them.
Absolutely.
That it doesn't matter where you're from. If you've got something, you flipping show it.
Yeah, exactly.
And you work hard at it. You can't expect it put on a plate for you when you're in positions like ours. Because when you are in positions like ours, and when you don't come from nothing, you do have to work for it. And you can only rely on yourself. You can't and stop worrying about what other people think.
Oh God,
all the time. It doesn't matter what other people think. What
matters if you're doing an entertainment industry because you have an audience, but
I think there's definitely an element.
It's finding that audience
because if you cared what everybody thought,
you're never going to please everybody. It's like being a teacher, and you get 1 in 10 kids which aren't going to listen.
But I'm saying if you always care what people thought, you won't even put yourself out there in the first place. You're worried that
it's anxiety.
You'll get negative feedback.
Yeah, but even negative feedback is still feedback. So it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? But as I say, as long as you are being real. And I think that's where the market needs to go. Realness.
Yeah.
Authenticity. Yeah.
Because I think that a lot of people, with the whole corporate side of things. I wrote for a corporate place, and they couldn't understand fundamentally that actually the people they were talking to, even internally and externally, they weren't going to buy this whole we're all happy clappy kind of thing. It's like, no, but we know that people.
It's all smoke and mirrors, though. What they promote on Instagram and stuff doesn't mean that's what's going on. That's what's real.
Yeah, and it can't all be good news. If it's always good news, then no one believes your shit. It's like you just sound like you got your head in the sand. You don't know what you're doing. It makes you look incompetent, I believe.
Yeah.
You have to say, look, like for example, when people say stuff like, I don't know, there's a phrase that sort of like. Oh, I worked really hard and stuff like that. And I'm not saying, I'm not, I know that you've just been talking about it. Like, they never really sort of talk about what hard work was.
Yeah.
They don't want to go into the detail. It's like, I worked hard and then 7 years later, but
look at this. But it's like, well, how did you get that?
Yeah.
But 9 times out of 10, they don't want to tell you how they got it because...
It involves a lot of...
Or because, they've done something dodgy, And as whereas...
I like to suck a dick. I'm joking. I've never sucked a dick.
Oh, don't. No,
I definitely haven't. I had to think for a moment there. I was like, actually, no, I'd probably remember that.
Well, you have to think if you sucked a dick.
I've done a lot of things. Marlon. A lot of scary things.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with being
I think
gay,
I've been
mate.
shot at. I know. I had a guy put a gun to my face once.
What?
Yeah, in a nightclub in Indonesia because they. Oh, sorry. Do you want me to tell the story? I'll tell the story.
Oh, that's so
Sorry, I didn't mean to steal thunder, but
You're holding back on these stories.
Well, I forgot about it until yesterday. I only remembered yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's something you kind of tend to repress. I mean, like, basically, I was in this nightclub, just minding my business, looked in the mirror, and this French guy who was, like, sort of about 40 something. We were in Jakarta, quite a posh nightclub, and this French guy, he was really drunk and being quite aggressive and stuff. I just went for a pee. I'm standing there in the toilets, looked at myself in the mirror like, oh, you handsome man, as a bit of a joke to myself, thinking he'd laugh. He goes, oh, you think you're handsome, huh? And then dived on me. And I was like, so I pushed him off and let him jump into the toilets.
But he wanted a PC, didn't it?
Yeah.
That's what it sounded like, didn't it?
I think he actually swung at me. Well, I've never been
Oh.
punched. I was just looking in the mirror. And like, you know, but then the security guys come, and because
Wait, so you're in the mirror checking yourself out.
I was washing my
yourself.
hands, look in the mirror, I'm like, oh, you devil. Because I was feeling good about myself.
And he's like, and then he says to you, you're handsome, and he jumps
No.
on you.
I was
You
like,
know,
I was
he
like, no.
blatantly fancies
No,
him, didn't
I
he?
said to myself,
Yeah,
I was like, you handsome
100%.
devil, as a joke, like, you know, being like, all right, you know, what am I like, kind of thing, you know, like,
Yeah.
and like, you know, just a bit of a like, laugh. He goes, oh, you think you're good looking? And I was like, yeah, and then he swung at me, and I was like, what the fuck? But he was so drunk, obviously, he'd lost balance. I just kind of
Yeah.
pushed him off, like, let him,
Jealous
you know,
of
let
your
him fall
confidence,
over.
maybe?
Well,
I don't know.
yeah, I mean, it was a little bit
That
shattered
happens.
after that. But then the security guys, because Indonesians tend to be a lot smaller than Westerners, they're not going to win that fight unless you've got numbers, which they tend to, because, yeah, the rule number one is never, ever hit a local. But one of the security guys had this revolver, pulls out a revolver and points it at the two of us. I tell you what, you've never broken up a fight that fast. I wasn't even fighting the guy. I was like, my hand, you know, I was like, all right, I've dealt with that. I'm going back to get a drink because I need one. And it's like, it was weird. And then, like, bizarre. And then the security guy's standing outside the toilet with a gun leveled at me. And I'm like, it was a revolver. And I was like, fuck, this took a turn.
Jesus.
There's me standing there like this. I've never been so scared in my life. I was standing there like this. And the guy's got a revolver, but it was unloaded. I could see, because believe me, you never, ever forget the focus. You suddenly get instant focus when there's something like that in your face.
So I'm playing Russian roulette with you.
I fucking hope he was.
He
There's
had
still a
one
bullet
in
in that
one
one.
of the chambers.
No, I had a word with them afterwards because it was clearly obvious that it was the other guy and not me. And he was like, you know, like, you go away. And I was like, all right, fine. You know, I was kept my arm over his shoulder because I'm not having any of that. I was like, that's fucking bizarre. And he went for a pee. And like, you know, like, I was just minding my business. And like, you know, like, yeah. So yeah, but I mean, like, it was unloaded. I was chatting to him afterwards because I was like, what the fuck was that? And like, you know, we had a few friends and, you know, like, everyone was kind of a bit curious about why the fuck there's a gun in the club. And yeah, he was like, oh no, it's unloaded. It's just that, you know, like, we have to scare the Westerners when they do that because we can't fight them really. And like, otherwise we get our asses kicked. Yeah. We'll get our asses kicked. But I tell you what, I was fucking so. I went from like. I went
Carry
from like.
guns for Westerners,
Yeah.
just in case.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, yeah, but I tell you what, though, it breaks the. It's
crazy.
effective. It's very effective. I wasn't going to fucking swing. That French guy definitely knew where he stood. With his face halfway through the toilet.
don't.
The prick. But yeah, like. Afterwards, he still tried to take a swing. I was like walking past him. I couldn't really. I had no idea what was going on. I was like,
I
oh,
think
that
you
was weird.
bring it on yourself, to be honest.
I don't. That was the weird thing. I just end up in these situations where people are getting dramatic, and I'm like, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, no.
So the time you sucked a dick, Phil, how did that go?
This is getting fucking edited out, but he's going to use it in the real. I didn't suck a... Why am I even saying this out loud? I just said... Had to... Fuck you both.
I'm sorry. Oh,
No, definitely haven't done that before. You definitely remember.
You sure?
something like that. I'm fairly sure I'd remember. It doesn't matter how...
Doesn't
wasted
sound
you
like
are.
you would.
I mean, it's
what
not
is in this whiskey?
It is 50%, I should probably have mentioned.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I know, right? That's all right. We'll be chatting for a while anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's take that back. No, I'm joking.
Fine.
It's really good shit, isn't it?
It is mine. It's really
lo-
good shit.
It is good shit.
It's good shit,
it's
though.
like 36 quid. I'll send you the link. Yeah, it's really good stuff. Anyway, so I didn't suck a dick.
I don't know if I believe you, you know.
Gun to the face, totally true. Unloaded.
Gun,
Really.
eh?
Yeah, scary. This is the problem being a
Stay with
journalist.
the gun.
The rule, yeah, we'll stick with the gun. Yo, fuck off. Sure it was a gun. This is the funniest you've been in the entire fucking series. God, yeah, and all 3 of them. Look at you, fucking time of your life, you prick. You know what? I'm gonna make so many errors here. You're gonna have to edit out. For the rest of the time, it's like I'm just gonna keep interrupting it, just so you sit there in the editorial suite after, it's like, motherfucker, shouldn't have taken the pith.
Hey, the listener.
Oh,
anyway,
man.
all right, moving forward.
Good stuff.
Please, can we move forward?
Yeah, go for
all
it.
All right, so broken promises. Okay, I think we covered that one. So what's it like to walk the red carpet? Because we've done it a couple of times. I've seen your Instagram.
Yeah.
What's that like? Is it the same excitement that you had the first time, or is it?
Yeah, it's all right. Don't get me wrong. I mean, as I said, like, I mean, it's it's all good. How can I put this without sounding like I'm ungrateful? Right? I'm not ungrateful. I am very grateful for that, but I just think it's very posy.
Yeah.
I'm not here for that. As I say, I'm very passion driven. I just care about the product.
Cool dresses.
I don't really do dresses though either. No, last night I rocked my jeans and my Timberlands.
You showed up
and
in
everything.
jeans and Timberlands during the premiere.
Yes.
I'd have shown up in a bloody... Well, actually, no, I wouldn't have shown up in a dress. That would be weird. But no, I mean, like, you can suit the boot.
That's
sure.
what I'm
well,
comfortable.
Booted,
I mean, it's not like it's Hollywood, is it? Like, where they...
Still.
I mean, you've seen the thing. I mean, Sam Smith wore at the BAFTAs.
What the fuck was that?
What was that? I mean, I saw.
I don't know.
It's like that black,
it was weird.
sort of like, I don't know, it looked like a bin bag blown up.
It was weird. It was
I bet you spent like 50 grand on that.
It was like corset or something, wasn't it?
No, it's something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, no, but those guys, they get styled, don't they, by stylists?
Yeah, there's a lot of feminisation on the catwalk as well. I actually want to get onto this. It's like,
but like, what he wore as well, it's just... I saw a meme that someone put up. They put the Squidward walk.
Oh, God.
It's so funny. It's so hilarious. You'll have to find that.
It's like sometimes they must look at these wardrobes and be like, come on, lads.
I just don't understand why they call that fashion. But then again, no, I don't know nothing about fashion. So what can I say?
I guess with fashion...
I suppose I'm being a little bit ignorant now, taking the mick and that. But
I've got a mate who's... Oh, my God. I've just seen it. He looks like the Queen of Hearts.
That's what, look at it. No.
Why the fuck would you do that on... I know it's all about being artistic, but...
It's just not... Yeah.
I mean
you wouldn't go to a baby shower in that, would you?
I mean, yeah, all right. Well, I mean, okay, so you're definitely not into the Sam Smith suits.
No. Right, but as I say, like, if the occasion arises where I have to wear a dress, yeah, I'll wear a dress. But if I can help it, I'd like to just be casual, normal. And as I say, standing... This might surprise you as an actor, right? You have to have your headshots done and everything like that.
Yours are fantastic.
I hate doing that. No, but I hate doing it. It's so cringy because it's like you have to stand there and do like certain faces, and that is so. I just feel like a prick.
I mean,
I'll be honest with you. I feel like a prick.
Great. Honestly, we were like, I was like, wow, she's got to be one of the pricks people we've had on.
Oh, thank you. That's really kind. But like, it's just
said a few other things, but we won't go into that. Otherwise,
no, it's all good. Like, what I don't know won't hurt me, and all that sort of stuff. Yeah,
but say anything weird, don't worry. His wife was watching.
It's all good. But no, like, and as I say, it's just. What was I saying?
About outfits on the catwalk.
Yeah. That's it. Headshots. I just feel like a prick, like, doing all these poses and everything. I'm much better acting. Just being on set, like, creating art, moving around, not just pictures. I'm like, if I wanted like to do pictures, I'd be a model. Yeah. But you have to have them for your spotlight and all your your CVs and everything, which I understand. And I'm probably being a proper Mary Ann about it, but I can't stand having headshots done.
It is quite an awkward thing to do, isn't it?
Like, it is. It's like, suck your neck in, put your head down, put your head down, to your chin down slightly. Yeah, okay. Turn to the right slightly. Yeah.
Now
okay.
smize.
No, right. No. Do a smouldering look.
Smouldering look. Yeah.
No. What do you mean smouldering then? And
you mean? Oh, wait, you didn't do the blue steel, like.
No. Yeah, smolder like that.
You gotta do the smolder.
Right. Yeah, and it's just like, honestly, it's awkward. It's awkward as hell, and I just don't like it.
My best mate, he's a drummer, and because he had to do the theatre stuff, he does it in the theatres. He had to get his stuff done. Oh my God, it's everyone's wallpaper. It's so funny. He's sitting on a park bench doing the whole thing like that, and he's doing the whole theologian, and it's like, come on, AJ.
Yeah.
Really, mate.
I probably sound really miserable when it comes to this industry and all that, but it's just, as I say, there's just certain things that I just think are so vain and everything like that. If I could get away with not having headshots done, I would.
Oh, yeah,
you know,
definitely.
and I know I understand.
Roles, though,
Yeah, but I understand I've got to do them, and obviously for the product of the film as well, you have to do them, which you know is great. But I'm not one of those that wants to stand there posing and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I can't do that. I feel like a prick.
Well, I mean, yeah.
At the end of the day, I do.
To be fair, I mean, it is a very unnatural thing.
Yeah,
to do,
like a couple of pictures on the red
I always
carpet.
pull silly faces in pictures.
Yeah.
There's it drives my missus nuts because she's like, she does the sort of thing. But my thing is to make her laugh because then her eyes light up that much more.
But all I want to do is just go past the red carpet, couple of pictures, yeah, thank you, and then I want to go see the film.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I want to see the project. I want to see the magic, like, you know, on screen. That's
you work for.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm most excited about. That's why I'm there.
Exactly.
You know, because of what I've created with other people.
Shows,
Well, even if I'm not, even if I've got like whatever role you've got, you'd be grateful for the role you've been given by people, and that's what I'm saying, and that's why I'm there. So I want to see the product with what the team have done together. You know, that's what I'm proud of. That's why I'm here. I'm not here to be taking photos of me.
No, exactly.
You know what I mean? I don't want that.
Collect up all the Grammys.
Yeah. Well, you know, as I understand, it's a side effect that comes with it. You know, but I can still be private and be humble and be myself. And not let it, you know, go to my head. You know, because I'd never ever let that go to my head. Never. I'm a mum first as well.
That's it.
You know, I like being at home going.
Do you ever bring your kids along with it?
Yeah, I have done. Yeah, I've done. No, a few times.
I bet they loved it though.
Yeah, they do. They like it. I mean, like my daughter came with me yesterday when she saw Fire Rises and that. And I'll just say this quickly: we've been given the green light for the sequel for that.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah, we have.
Oh, fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you. She came yesterday with me and she goes, your acting's really good, Mum. And that meant so much to me that my kids sat there and watched what I, you know, knows why I have to go away sometimes to do filming and everything like that. For her to say that, like, you know, I'm proud of you, I really like, you know, your acting's really good. It means more. It means so much, and I'm like, I look at her and I think you're my driving force. You know, you're the reason why I'm doing this.
Aww.
You know, I know I'm being a bit.
God. No, it got soppy, but I mean, like, it was pretending you did, but
yeah, and
it's
yeah. I know I'm probably not, you know, like the, you know, the average actor out there, you know, that likes all the luxuries with it. I mean, who don't? But I'm just one of those. I'm a simple woman. I don't.
You want to just get in there, do the job, have fun doing it, and then enjoy your job. You know, enjoy your job. That's
so
really good.
If you like you do,
got the big tag.
This next film you do becomes massive, and you become like a big star. How do you think that will affect you?
I'd invest it in helping others. You know, that's what I'd do. I'd invest it in helping others more than myself.
Yeah, because you've got that project that you were talking about before.
I think when you're someone that knows what it's like to have nothing, you want to give back more.
Right.
So the Underdog Crew, is that a project? That's your project that you're quite happy
with? They're a charity basically that is charity run, and it helps kids that come from traumatic backgrounds or bad mental health, like, you know, autism as well as traumatic and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Come together and be creative through film and get them off the streets. Basically, I was one of those kids 20 years ago. I wish I'd have had something like that to guide me and help me, and then, you know, I wouldn't have made so many flipping mistakes that I've made. But you live and learn.
Would you be the same person if you hadn't made those mistakes? That's the other question.
That's another thing, yeah. So I do think to myself, I'm glad I went through what I went through, because, you know, I wouldn't be tooled up to how I am like today, to be the woman I am today, or work the way I do today. So, you know, I've got to be grateful for that. You know, God obviously put me here to, you know,
nudge in that direction.
No, he put me here to learn these lessons so I could tell stories. That's how I'm seeing it. That's my positive.
It's a really beautiful way of looking at it.
Well, I'll say one thing as well, that just because you come from that background, not everybody necessarily thinks about giving back. Some people are like, I've escaped, I'm good, I don't really care about anybody else. That's how some people think. So it's actually quite courageous that you're actually thinking about giving back to people.
I want to. That's what I want to do. If I'm given a platform and I'm given, like, you know, X amount of riches and that, I don't want that for myself. I'd feel wrong.
Yeah, I mean, once you've made your first million or so, you know.
Yeah, I'd feel wrong. I'd want to invest it in something like a drama school for the underprivileged or whatever, you know.
That's really
or
good.
You know, food banks, or just to help the world.
Yeah.
I want to help. You know, that's all I want to do is help people, because I know what it's like to have nothing. I know what it's like not to have a voice. I know what it's like to suffer.
Yeah.
You know. And I don't, at the thought of anyone else suffering out there, it breaks my heart.
Yeah,
so I would like, that's what I'd do.
Yeah,
if I got a big platform.
I mean, that's,
in a nutshell.
No, I mean that's really sweet. Yeah, well, I don't even know what to say back, but yeah, I mean that's lovely.
That's a first, isn't it?
It is. Well, I do know exactly what to say, but I just said lovely. I'm going with lovely. We're sticking with lovely. Lovely's everyone's happy with. That was lovely. Good. Yeah. I mean, it tends to be my go-to adjective these days. I swear to God. So, what was the schmooziest showbiz event and like that you went to though?
Schmooziest? What do you mean? Define schmooziest.
As in, like like we have to go around and be like, oh yeah, because you've worked with Idris Elba.
Oh yeah.
What film was that?
That was Turn Up Charlie. That was his series on Netflix.
Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah, I was in episode 6 of that. I was the A&R scout. Yeah, and it was only a small role, but I was so grateful for it. He just said, man. Yeah, of course. I was like,
is he as sexy as he is?
I'm in the scene with him, so he's talking to me. Yeah.
Were you like, hi?
No.
Did you get starstruck at all?
No.
Oh,
not at all. Not at all.
Like, can I give you a hug?
Do you get starstruck by people?
No.
She just said no.
No, I don't.
No, she said him, but I said it in general.
Right, yeah.
No, I think probably the one person, if there's one person I probably would get starstruck with out there, I'm trying to think long and hard, actually.
For me, it would probably be David Attenborough.
What?
David Attenborough, is that the grandfather of the
That's a random one to be.
I can't even think.
I wouldn't know. Yeah, I'd be like,
I don't know. I just see people as.
I think he's just AI now.
Yeah, I'm fairly sure.
They're just people. They just have more money and a bigger platform.
Yeah.
That's all I see. And they're in the same job. They're in the same line of work as me. So I respect it. I respect what they do.
So and everything. Who do you want to work with, like, who you think is up there and who like be a dream for you to work with?
Stephen Graham and Jodie Comer, 100%. They are the best. They are the best in the business at the moment.
Really?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're brilliant. They're so good. Yeah. They are. They're so talented, and they own their craft and everything, and like their range is insane, And working with someone like them, you get the best out of yourself because they're authentic. And
so what's those names again?
Jodie Comer.
So Godi.
Yeah. Yeah, she's an amazing actress. She is.
How do we spell Comer?
Comer.
Yeah,
Killing Eve, the blonde one in Killing Eve.
Got her.
Yeah. She's amazing. She's brilliant.
She's in Free Guy as well.
Yeah, and she's doing a new series as well with Tom Hardy and Austin Butler.
He's amazing.
He's
I
good.
saw him in Taboo.
I think Stephen Graham pisses all over him though.
Liverpool.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Have a good scout.
Jamaican roots as well. He's got.
Oh.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. His grandfather was Jamaican, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know as well.
Yeah.
And my grandmother. And my mother. No, my dad.
Do you know what? I love the Jamaicans. I love Jamaican people.
It's such a lovely thing.
The language I just think is beautiful as well. Even when they're arguing, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, exactly.
Even when they're arguing, it's funny and it's beautiful. And it's like
what
are you doing here?
Yeah. I thought you were afraid of spice.
Yeah. A sit down picnic. I love it. It's just beautiful. It is.
The funniest place to go to, the Jamaican restaurant.
Yeah.
Oh, that was my first ever front page. Was that some guy opened a Jamaican restaurant in there, and like he got the big flag up. It was so bright and lovely. They put him on the front page. I was like, smashed it.
Have you ever been to a Jamaican restaurant?
Yeah. I mean, obviously I did because he gave me.
But
he didn't give me any free food though. I was like, a bit disappointed about that.
The thing when you go to Jamaica,
jerk chicken. I was like, come on.
You see, when you go to a Jamaican restaurant, it's like the customer service is on the next level. They're so rude.
Yeah.
That's how you know the food is gonna be good. Like,
yeah.
You come in there like, what you want?
What you want?
I don't know. I'm very white.
Yeah.
Yeah. What you want, white boy?
Hey. Pull out the Scotch bonnet. This guy, he's not going to handle it.
Yeah, and as they're walking away right at the last bit, they're like...
It's only they can get away with it.
Yeah,
Judge it. And it's like, it just for some reason makes the whole thing just so much more fun. It's like what's that Chinese restaurant in Soho?
I'll just be like, you can insult me all you want, just keep talking, bro. I love it.
It's like, do you want my money or not?
Yeah.
It's like, do we walk out? No. This is funny. He's absolutely happy.
But it's funny though. Like every other restaurant in the world, if they were to do that to you, would walk out.
Yeah. You make it in the wrist. Like, all right, fine, have the fish and chips. It's like, oh, will it be fish and chips? Will it? It's like, you run a chippy. Give me that shit. But like, all right. I mean, like, yeah. So we talked about hard graft a lot, and I was thinking, like, because you had that 2-year period, 2-3 years, where you kind of you had a bit of a reset. What was that about?
A reset?
Yeah.
Oh,
because it was after COVID. It was.
Oh, after COVID, yeah. So obviously jobs weren't coming in or anything like that. I mean, as I said, I don't want to get into politics and that, but things have changed.
Yep.
it's a lot harder.
How's the industry changed lately, actually? Because you've been at it for about 10 years.
Yeah, so I just think...
What are the major influences that have affected your career, really, like externally, like apart from COVID?
I don't want to get into politics. But no, I do think there's just a new agenda now that they're pushing. Yeah. You know, I think my look is kind of classed as outdated.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, because you're blonde hair, blue-eyed,
what do you mean?
pretty.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't go first far with the pretty, but yeah, the blonde, blue-eyed thing, I think is...
The whole diversity thing that Disney Channel's doing, I guess.
Oh, God, that's driving everyone.
That's what I know, but I think that's good. I do think that's good, but it gets to a certain point where it gets to, like, where it gets unfair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
About identity rather than acting talent.
Yeah, I mean, this is what it's about. You're supposed to be all inclusive, not like include one and then push the other out, you know? As I don't want to get into politics. Yeah.
It's not political.
I guess my whole problem...
I know, but society out there would see that as political.
Yeah.
Really?
That's ridiculous.
I guess my whole problem with that whole thing is that it doesn't feel authentic. It feels like, oh, we've been called out on this. Let's start changing things suddenly. Let's start get everybody in. Like, let's start suddenly just go crazy.
Go overboard.
That's my problem with. That's my whole problem with it. It doesn't feel authentic. It's not like, oh, we think these are good actors. Let's incorporate them into it.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not young talent anymore. It's more like just the right demographic.
Yeah, it's more an agenda rather than talent.
Do you think that's come about as a result of Me Too, though? Because I know that whole thing was triggered by Harvey Weinstein and the whole Hollywood thing, and that was very Hollywood focused.
Yeah.
And everyone always knew that, you know, like if you want to get to the top in Hollywood, you've got to sleep with the director or something like that. There was always that kind of thing. Of that kind of
everybody knew that.
Well, not everyone knew, but there was that kind of...
Why do you think I ain't made it really big yet? Because I haven't done that. No, I wouldn't.
I'm not suggesting you have, but it's just like...
but I wouldn't. I love my dignity too much. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like look at my talent, not my body.
Absolutely.
You know, that's what you should be focusing on, not what you can exploit out of me and that. And no fucker will exploit me ever again.
I don't think ever will.
Ever again.
No.
You know? No. And I think that's probably
why... Wake up the bollocks on the dresser.
That's why I don't really get approached that much as well, because I am very like sort of black and white, like, you know, do not take the piss out of me, do not think I'm just because I'm blonde that I'm dumb, you know, because for one, you know, one, I'm not dumb, and two, I'm not actually an actual blonde, so.
Oh yeah, what are you? Scandalous.
I'm like a sort of like a dark auburn, like an auburn colour, like, you know, like a redhead, not ginger, like a, you know, like the darker shade of that. No, it's fine. You know, like the darker shade of that, but like a more of a red colour. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's my actual hair colour. Yeah, it's alright.
It's quite beautiful, especially with the brown, with the blue eyes. I mean, like, it's
green actually.
Really?
They're green, yeah.
Yeah, they are green.
They are, but they're more
they look blue from afar.
This is where we're going to start with the whole turquoise.
I mean, no, a lot of people do get them confused. They go, "Oh, your blue eyes," and I'm like, "They're green."
They look kind of blue from here. And
they're bright green. Yeah, but they're bright green.
Oh, I believe you.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, that's very rare.
Yeah, I suppose so. But then again, that's what I'm saying. It's just like, yeah, they're rare, but that my look is outdated now. That's how the industry's kind of made me feel. Made a lot of people feel.
Why do you feel that way?
Because the opportunities I was getting before, I mean, I used to get like loads of self-tapes and that, like hundreds of them and all that sort of stuff, and I'd be so busy with them. These days, I'm not, you know. And as I say, it could be, I'm not just going to blame it on that. It could be because I'm not showcasing myself enough. So, you know, I'm now sort of working on that myself now, you know, like making my own material, my own content and everything, you know, to try and get like a shot. You know, but then it's that crossover of like, I don't want to be famous. I don't want to feel like I'm doing this just to be relevant or like, you know, just to, you know, like, you know what I'm saying.
You want to do because you've got that passion.
I've got the passion, like, you know, look what I can bring to the table. You know, I want to bring this kind of like side to the table. You know, I've got this going on in here. I could use this for this, you know, this role. Give me a shot. Yeah. You know, I ain't going to cause you any trouble or anything like that.
You said you might.
Yeah, well, you know, you never know.
No,
unless,
trouble,
no, I've got good trouble. You know, everyone likes a bit of good trouble.
Bit of feistiness.
You know, you know, but that's what I'm saying. It adds a little bit of spice to it. You know?
It's not quite Jamaican spice. Get rid of the Scotch bonnets. Come on.
I just think there needs to be a more of a fairness in it, rather than going to one side. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Without sounding like I'm ignorant or
not at all.
Flipping, homophobic, transphobic, or whatever. I am 100% not. I am one of those that you be who you want. You have got every right to be.
I guess like, you know, people.
As well.
I guess people were complaining. What's that film? Snow White and the
Oh
Dwarf,
God, that shit
has no dwarf, one dwarf.
Yeah, all because Peter Dinklage said something, and it's like, and then it's like the 7 diverse characters.
Yeah.
It's like, but
And it was like this was the perfect opportunity to hire people who have dwarfism.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean,
But
Peter
they're-
Dinklage got his big break from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
They cast him as the dwarf.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, because I think there's plenty of actors out there that have, like, you know, that are professional actors that have dwarfism that could easily do that. But you know what? It's because they're not a name and not a brand. And this is what I'm saying. Brands
How
are
can you
ruining
become
things.
a name?
That's what I'm
if
saying.
you're
You've
not
got to
able
give
go through-
people opportunity, you know?
Yeah.
Because there 9 times out of 10, there are people out there that will want to watch something that with someone in it that they don't know because they're curious.
I mean,
It's
like how
oh,
else? Yeah.
what are they going to bring to the table then?
people like
Do you know what I mean?
Christoph
It ain't always
Waltz.
about that brand.
Yeah.
and
It
stuff.
used to be like directors like Sean Meadows, is that his name? The one that
Meadows,
yeah, he used to like only select actors that have no experience.
Yeah.
I mean, Tarantino did that, and that's how you ended up with people like, you know, Samuel L. Jackson, people like that, because he had that group of actors that he really liked,
That's
but they
what
were
I'm
under,
saying.
yeah, they were under, yeah, and
and look
we've
how
ended up with
amazing
Bruce
their
Willis.
films are, you know?
Incredible films.
That's what I mean, Samuel Jackson, I mean, I'm surprised he ain't as big as he
Capitalised
is.
on the words motherfucker.
You know, he's amazing. He's a brilliant actor. That's what I'm saying. It's
He has done
brand
some
name.
he has done some turds though in terms of
Oh, of course, yeah, but we've all done a bit of shit in our time. Do you know what I mean?
snakes on the plane.
We've all done a bit of shit in our time that we're not proud of.
Great
you
actor
know?
though.
Yeah, if you could summarise the plot in the title.
Although fuck him for what he said about black British actors going over to Hollywood. You were saying how
I mean, the accent does sell.
you're saying that you know how like there's a lot of black actors going off to Hollywood and they do an American accent and people can't tell, like Idris Elba for example.
Yeah.
He was complaining about that in an interview one time.
Idris Elba's fantastic.
Yeah,
though.
he's pretty. I mean, he's like
And
the
he was
British.
saying that like that they should give it to an American actor instead of giving it to the British actor.
But if he's got a better repertoire and better background in it, and he's also delivering a better job, then that's who.
Yeah, that's what it is. But some Americans feel that the British actors are stealing their jobs, and that's the whole complaint about it. Like how you did your American accent in your film, people complain about that because like the British actors tend to do a better American accent than they can do a British accent.
Yeah, but Americans doing a British accent are
terrible.
Oh, it's awful.
It's
They
terrible.
were like, "Oh, hello, how are you?"
No, they say that it's like we have tea with the Queen every night. Do you know what I mean? It's like
don't anymore. She's
no,
smashed
British accents. I mean, especially in London, we've got like 3 or 4
Yeah, I got loads. Yeah.
in this in
loads of
London.
American
Yeah, you got the
accents
Cockney.
as well,
You've got obviously like North.
I mean, you go 20 miles in any direction, you get a different accent.
That's what I'm
We've got
saying,
different
and right,
accents,
and
the three of us.
and in the last,
We're within a
should I
20
say,
mile
20 years, it's evolved into like where you've obviously had people like you've got multicultural, like where it's mixed, like Jamaican with London as well, like where you get you know what I'm saying, you feel me in it, that's where that's come from.
being checked
No,
last
but that's what I'm saying. But that's evolution. That's not like me saying anything bad. That's evolution.
Yeah, and that's how languages are. I mean, we're not talking like Shakespeare anymore.
I heard that sometime where like British people will use like a patois word.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I wonder if you actually know where that word comes from.
Yeah.
It's usually French or Latin. Like,
No, I mean like the word the British person says.
Yeah, like
I wonder if they
like
knew that-
fam
yeah,
or
yeah.
rotted.
Yeah,
Or,
it's
you know what I
family,
mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I use that even myself. If I drop something, rotted. That means like, oh
what's
shit.
rotted?
Or
is that Jamaican?
yeah, rotted. It's almost like, oh fuck shit or whatever. Like, oh shit. Or if you've dropped
It's a
something,
fun thing to say. It's the syllables of it as well. It's like,
and it's beautiful. It sounds so much better.
and no one can swear like a British person. It's like it's like fuck off.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Some people get excited by that. It's really weird.
But me growing up in East London, I grew up on a council estate called Thames View Estate, and it was literally multicultural. Everyone was friends of everyone, You had like flipping, like, the Jamaicans up the road, you had the Africans next door, you had like the Polish up the road as well. But do you know what? It's different to how it is today because, I mean, from my experience, I can't speak for everyone else, but from my experience, everyone was just friends with everyone.
Yeah.
Didn't matter where you were from, where like your background, everyone just embraced each other.
Yeah.
That's like what Curly Weddy was saying as well. Like,
And I miss that about the world. I really do. Everyone just embraced each other. And now it's like everyone's fighting each other. It's like the world, I feel, has got more violent than it ever has been, in society.
More violent.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's quite a few
No
wars
one
kicking
can
around.
talk about anything. You can't put a point across without someone getting offended by it.
Oh,
Like, I'm going politics
I got
again,
told,
aren't I?
no. I got told.
Do you think social media has a part to play in all of that?
110%.
Get them from your keyboard as opposed to
Even violence now, I feel like the young kids don't feel like. Huh?
They'll film it.
Yeah, that's the problem.
You can't just get beaten up anymore.
Yeah. That used to happen. You get to fight with somebody, you get beaten up. Only the people who were there saw it. They laughed about it. They talked about it. And then they forgot about it.
Yeah.
Forgot forever. But now, if I get beaten up down the street, it's on TikTok
forever.
Yeah, but I'm flipping TikTok or YouTube forever.
Yeah.
So
now they're thinking I better carry a knife so I don't get beaten up. Now these problems escalate.
That's what I'm saying. You're right there. It does escalate, and it makes kids feel like they need to protect themselves more. It's not so much that they're bad kids or anything like that, or they just want to get their street cred and be hard or anything like that. It's they feel like they need to protect themselves because society's become more violent.
Yeah, most stabbings, actually, it turns out, I used to date a surgeon, and she was saying that most stabbings are very skin deep because most people, when they're holding a knife, they just want the other person to go away, so they start jabbing, and then they accidentally stab them. Yeah. And that's why you end up with these tragedies. Like I think she at one point had to resuscitate a 17-year-old boy who died in her arms. His heart stopped beating in her hand. She had to crack his chest, it's horrendous. But at the same time, like she said, I was like, holy Christ! And she was like, yeah, but I don't think that the person, they did murder him, but
they didn't mean to.
Yeah, and that's the tragedy of it. Because a lot of these kids are going down. Because murder's murder. You're going down for a while, but
of course, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's the law of England, the UK, really. Like you murder, you have to do your time for it.
Even when I was in school, people carried knives. I had people in my school carry knives.
I had knives held up to me and that, and I'd like my earrings and necklace robbed.
Wow.
By people in my school. Yeah, that's how bad my school was.
Wow. That's scary as fuck.
Yeah, But with me though, I was one of those that I had no fear back then. Yeah. I'd be like, go on, stab me then. Go on. Go on then. I'd be like, I ain't giving you my necklace. You're gonna have to take it from me. Do you know what I mean? I was so argumentative. I thought I will fight you. I don't care how big you are. I will fight you.
But I feel like there was
to be like that.
You have to,
I feel like there was a layer of like. They're not going to just pull out the knife straight away in most instances. Most times there's a fight and then it escalates to knife.
Yeah.
Which was a bit better because you could just like stop that after a fight sometimes. Sometimes it'd be like you have a fight with somebody and they want to continue on. You'd be like, no, I'm done now.
Yeah.
And they move on and that's it.
Yeah.
But it was in certain schools, even when I was growing up and that, you had to survive, and a lot of these kids were being abused at home, or they didn't have parents at home, or they had to have points of proof because they were being bullied themselves. You know what I mean? It's all, everyone's got a story, you know, and that's
the hard part. Cause where do you draw that line? Of
exactly,
being a victim and being not a victim, but being the circumstance this person lives under and the harm that they've done. Because I think that if you've got a kid who punched your kid, like if say someone punched me, I struggle to forgive that just because they had a bad week.
Yeah,
it's
that's what I'm saying.
Deserve that.
No one deserves that. No one deserves that.
So it's quite hard to be, but it's like what we were saying at the beginning, about how being the bigger person and kind of forgiveness and understanding the other person, and then trying to come to terms with that for yourself as well, having been the victim of abuse or crime or whatever. It's just that's the hardest part. It really is, I think, and I think though that it's very noble that. People are able to do that. And I don't know. I mean, there were certain circumstances I think I'd struggle with. Yeah. And I'd like to become a fair person, but fuck,
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to say that I'm a fair person that's quite cultured, and that has a level of understanding because I've been there myself. But there is a line, and it's down to the individual to learn themselves, really, a lot of the time. As I go back to that point, only you can really help you.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got to really dig deep and admit to yourself when you're wrong. Yeah. Admit what you need to change, and as I say, it's not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength when you realise things, but then we all have choices as well, and it's whatever choice you make.
And make that effort to reconcile, even though the other person's probably going to be a dick about it at first.
Yeah. But, you've just got... It's just the way it is, really. They'll come round to it in their own time, but until then, you still do you, and you don't deserve to put up with that.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, so...
That's a really good way of putting it. Yeah. I feel like we should... I feel like... I mean, like... Well, I think that's a really quite good note to end on, really. I mean,
I think so, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've got nothing after that. I was going to ask about Me Too. But... Do you feel that it almost feels redundant now? Because after that, I was like,
no, me too. It's like, me too. It shouldn't cross the line over pandering.
Yeah,
it should be a mutual respect with me too. Yeah, everyone
and gender
deserves...
divide, but everyone knows that it's a different brain, I suppose.
Yeah,
a different set of responsibilities in society, I think.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, if you feel like you've been bullied by society, once you get acceptance for it, which they have, don't become a bully as well, because it just defeats the object.
Yeah, it's
and then there's never going to be peace.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There has to be a common ground where people come, meet in the middle and say, right.
It's like when support turns to aggression or defense turns to attack.
That's what I'm saying.
There's a very sort of... It is quite
and then it gets and then they try and justify it. It's like, how can you justify that?
Yeah.
You can't.
No. It's silly.
You can't.
It's like I think that a lot of time, I've always theories about how the world's come about. I think one of them is the whole thing where it becomes corporate and where it becomes kind of ingrained into what you can and can't say. And I think that's something that I struggle with, because some of the issue, I'll just say one thing that comes in my head, especially when I'm exhausted, if I'm stressed, tired, etc. That's when I make these faux pas. That's when I'll say something that will kind of get me in trouble. And then, of course, because I'm already tired, and then you have that extra layer of stress, that's when, all the symptoms kick right off. And it's a lot of fun. And I've been fired for stuff like that in the past, thinking, holy crap, am I really this terrible person? But actually, I'm not.
You're not.
And then you turn around and you're like, actually, hang on a minute, that's, symptomatic of what I have. But anyway, the point is that, I think a lot of people will say stuff that they don't mean, but you can't do that anymore. You can't just say, shit, that was the wrong thing to say. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to upset you. I'm really sorry. It's like, if the person who's offended, they've got you by the nads from there on.
Yeah, but it even feels like free speech is limited now.
I got told off the other day for saying an old lady rang me. It was an example for an interview. And I said, an old lady rang me about, rang the paper. And me calling her an old lady, even though she was an old lady, and I was thinking about this on the way over. The person who was advising me, she was from the civil service, a recruiter from the civil service, got chatting, and she was absolutely lovely. She was really supportive, and she was we were going through my examples to see if I could make it better. She said, don't use the words old lady. And I was like, that's got to be the weirdest thing. Because I was like, but she was old.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, in there anyway. Yeah, but even bikers and that, but even bikers refer to their wife as their old lady. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's not a derogatory term, but no one...
references are the misses, and believe me, they wear the trousers.
It just seems like...
there is definitely a power imbalance there.
It's kind of crazy because even at work sometimes you're trying to describe something. They're like, who's that person? What did they look like? And you're like,
this is why everyone's got anxiety.
I could just simply say they were Asian, but I don't want to say it just in case somebody gets offended.
Yeah.
So I'd be like describing other things when I could have just said they're Asian, and you would have just immediately know who I was talking about.
Yeah, but what's wrong with saying Asian?
Feeling, isn't it? It's like when
you have to worry sometimes or just how to describe people.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's what it is. It's like today.
You're black, and I'm fairly sure it's not going to surprise you when you look in the mirror.
No.
This movement is kind of is created like it has created
a lot of anxiety,
especially for kids.
Yeah, it has, and it's like no one can differentiate, a
descriptive fact
of you know what I mean.
It's it's not. At what point does it become racist or oppressive?
I get my height taken the piss out of all the time.
Me too.
All the time. I was like, me too.
So
me
let's
too.
Start there. As Mr. Average height.
I get because I'm 5 foot tall.
You know
right?
that actually legally speak. I looked this up because my ex-girlfriend was about your height.
Yeah.
And which is really cute because when you gave me a hug earlier, I was like, oh, it's familiar. But she was great, but she was like 4 foot 9. She was like 4 foot 10, 11 or something like that.
Yeah.
But if you're under 5 foot, then medically you're a midget. Not a midget, but you're deemed as a small person.
Is it? Really?
I
see it more as a superpower than a disability.
How's under 5 foot?
I see it more.
5 foot is disability.
Under 4 foot, under 5 foot, yeah.
I see this more as a superpower than a disability.
You're the one who can't walk through door frames without doing a little duck and all that.
You can fit into small spaces, right? And
everyone wants to look after you as well.
You can wear you can wear not younger girls' clothes as such, but you can get like trainers, like my crepes. They're half the price of what you pay for an adult. I haven't got them on now, mate. They're a 4.
You're 4.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's what I'm saying.
Sorry, that's the problem. Is I don't want to patronise you by going, oh,
no,
but that's cute.
it's fine. No, but I'm so used to that. It's like I'm not offended by it.
Yeah, exactly. I used to work with disabled people.
I'm not offended by it, and I think to myself, why would anyone be offended by that? I am
think
little.
It's the people who have to deal with it who actually get offended, because it's the whole thing. It's like being offended on the part of someone else's. Yeah, because I used to work with disabled people, and these lads couldn't walk. You had to help them get to the toilet and stuff like that. That's why I was there. I was there as a carer, and it was a tough job.
I used to do care work.
Yeah,
as well.
it does get a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, it does get. Yeah, sometimes you're just like. Oh.
So 4 foot 9 inches is, I guess.
Yeah,
oh, right.
that's classed as dwarf. Yeah.
But I mean, I found that the bloke who I worked with, the last one I worked with, he was hilarious, and he was like, "Yeah, mate, I know I'm disabled. I could tell. It's like I've been doing this for quite a while now, mate. I've got a little wheelchair to prove it." And he was hilarious.
No,
and I was like, because I didn't really know at first. I was only new to the job, and I was like, how do I, how do I kind of approach? But that came from an anxiety coming from a society that hadn't experienced that.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very patronising thing, really. Because, I mean, like,
I suppose it depends. Yeah, I know, but it depends where you take it, where your mindset takes it. If you've got a victim mentality, you're going to see the negative. If you haven't, then you're not going to be bothered by it.
I mean,
you know what I mean? Who would, like, sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me? Since when did that not become a thing anymore?
I mean, my nickname
is so soft now.
Yeah.
That's what it's so. Everyone's so soft, and it's like.
But the problem is that you get in trouble for not being soft like that. Because I had someone complain about me once because of a silly comment that I made, and it was a joke. It was clearly a joke. Everyone was, and I'm not saying that, but even saying that, it makes me sound like I'm guilty of something.
Yeah.
And I'm not. I mean, I wasn't. They complained about my boss as well the day before, and this person was a serial complainer who was just antisocial. And, they were quite young, but I didn't do anything, wrong or anything. If anything, I actually helped this person a lot. But they say that, but I look back and I'm like, that was really fucked up, actually. Why was I being even...
That's what I'm saying, you're questioning...
someone for saying something that was clearly a joke.
I call that mass gaslighting. Yeah, because they have a victim mindset. And they need to just go and work on themselves and don't worry about what other people say and think. And take it as it is. A joke. You are destroying... our comedy. That's what I'm saying. It's going to be a time.
And comedy comes from difference as well. Because I mean, it's like, for example, we make a lot of fun. I mean, I wouldn't say we made fun, but you and I talk about being black and white all the time.
Yeah.
And it's a different experience.
But what's wrong with that?
And it's fun. It's something that, first time I met you, I was like, who's this big black guy?
Yeah, but you don't mean any malice by it, same as you don't mean any malice by it. And that's true friendship, though.
But to be fair, though, that was the first time I met him. I didn't know how to take it when I first met him.
Right.
But after getting to know him, then I was like, oh, that's cool.
That's what I'm saying. But you work that out yourself, whereas there's many out there that would say, no, that's fucking wrong.
And there's a lot of stuff that comes from ignorance as well. Because coming from Surrey, didn't have any black friends before, really. I mean, I have one or two, but but that's just the demographic that I grew up in, and it's like. And then to go to university where everyone's a different kind of brown. We lived together. At university.
Oh, really?
And he swiftly became one of my best friends. And I was like,
that's what I'm saying. That's
15
beautiful.
years down the line. But one of the reasons for that was just because, because he'd come around with a joint, and I was like, go on, I'll smoke a joint. I'll smoke weed with a Jamaican person. This is rather fun.
Whereas I'm lucky.
Great.
Yeah, I'm lucky. I grew up where everyone was like mixed. There was black mixed with white, Asians, Chinese. A lot of ethnicities on my estate.
It's a lot of fun.
It is.
And
no, but you know what?
The smell as you went down when it was dinner time. Holy fuck!
That's what I'm saying. But the thing is, though, and even in my school, it was just so everyone mixed together. It was a beautiful thing, and I was proud of my country. You know what I mean?
I know it sounds like cliche, but I used to see race for a long time. I never used to see the
fuck off virtue signaling.
No, but because my school was mixed with a bunch of different people. So my best friend was from Indian. I had black friends. I had white friends. It didn't really matter.
I reckon
to me when I was young.
But
it used to make some of my friends a little bit uncomfortable when we were in Indonesia because we were the only whites for quite a big, we were very much in the minority. And you go through the mall and people would just stare at you. Indonesians, they would just stare unashamedly. And for me, I didn't mind. I just
because they don't see a white person very much.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
It's like we're an anomaly, and they would treat you so well as well because they're like, "Oh, you're like a little celebrity." It was fantastic.
Yeah.
But then other times, they would discriminate against you because you're a white guy, and I would find that a lot of the older people would, especially against our girlfriends. Though they would really go for the girlfriends.
That's what I'm saying. But
there's a difference between the girl who's never seen a white person, wow, you're really tall, I like your sharp nose, and the guy giving my girlfriend grief because she's with a boule, which means white guy, and I didn't really think it was that, but you kind of, that you're different, and that's fine. I mean, that was positive discrimination for the most part, but there was a time when my ex-girlfriend and I were walking down the street, and this guy who was sitting there on the side of the road chain smoking starts giving us shit in Indonesian, saying, oh, you're a bule hunter, in other words, implying that she was a gold digger because I was white. And that, I think, is racist. I think that
is.
And I wanted to turn around and give him a bit of my mind, but
that's wrong.
At the same time, I thought about it, and I said to her, I was like, do you want me to go have a word? Because I was a bit bigger than him. I was perfectly happy to. I was fucking furious because I was like, not about me.
He probably had a revolver for you.
No. No, he definitely didn't. He was trashy. But then I thought, okay, well, this guy's got nothing better to do with his life. On a Tuesday, when I'm on holiday, on a Tuesday, they sit there and catcall a girl who is beautiful, brilliant, intelligent, and able to have a relationship with someone from a different country. I mean, I'm just like, who's really losing here?
Yeah, it's true. And I think what it all boils down to, really, is like the way I see it is I don't look at you and define you by your colour. I define you whether you're an arsehole or not.
Yeah, by your character.
Do you know what I mean? That colour don't define arsehole or a good person. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying. I don't like.
It's weird, isn't it? And I think a lot of it comes from like a subconscious prejudice, but I think that a lot of it comes from people who are ignorant. And I think there's a difference.
Who have been sheltered.
There's a difference between being ignorant. I mean, I come from like quite a sheltered background, but I feel like, and I'm not trying to put myself in their shoes, but I do feel a lot like there's what we were saying before about the overreaction to your own sort of I've been a tit, but that's okay. You've learned it now. I mean, it's okay to be ignorant. It's not okay to hate someone for something until you've talked to them or until you understand. Obviously, that's all part of
exactly, and that's all part of learning and growing.
If I want to be an effective security guard, bring an empty revolver. But again, I mean, most bouncers are also pricks, but still,
they are pricks.
They are, yeah. Power trips, isn't it? They're basically like, because they can't be police.
Yeah.
They're going to do it in another way.
Can I tell you, like, to go off point quickly, I was going to
that's the name of the podcast.
Yeah. This is like years ago before me and my wife got married. We were going to one of my friend's birthday in Clapham, and we were going to try to go into this club, and it was raining. So I always wear hats, so I gave my wife the hat so our hair doesn't get messed up.
What a gentleman.
Yeah. So we get into the line and everything, go into the club. My wife takes the hat off and has it in her hand, and the security guard stops my wife and goes, "I can't let you in with the hat."
What?
That she was not wearing. So I'm like, so I go over. I'm like, "Oh, that's my hat." You're like, "Yeah, we can't let you in the building with the hat.
That's retarded.
It's against our rules.
Sorry, shouldn't say
no hats allowed." I'm like, "I'm not gonna wear my hat. I'm not wearing it." Like,
who wears a hat indoors?
But the bouncer was like, "Oh, can't let you in with the hat and everything." So I'm like, argue. Like, sorry, that's against our policy. Look,
who the fuck would argue with you? You're 6'6". Why don't you just deck the guy and walk in?
I got frustrated to argue with them, so I just chucked my hat in the street.
Why? It's a nice hat.
Yeah, it was a nice hat.
Why is my voice like this?
I chucked my hat in the street, and they're like, "Okay, then we let you in." I'm like, "You're just a dickhead." Like,
why not just
that's a proper dickhead thing to do. Why not say, "I'll hold it for you until you let"?
I even said to them, I'll put it into the cloakroom, and they're like, "Sorry, no, you can't do that." I'm like,
"Oh, fuck off."
Yeah, and it's ridiculous. Like, I always wear a hat.
Cute as well.
And I've been to many clubs, and they're just like, "Oh, take your hat off when you get inside."
They didn't used to allow trainers either, but now they do apparently.
There's a weird one. Yeah, like okay, my mate, he was in trainers going to like some place in Reddit, it was like Liquid and Envy or something, and they wouldn't let him in, because there was all glass all over the floor. But then he says, "Well, but then someone walked past in sandals, or like some girl walked past in sandals." It was like, wait. If she goes in sandals, isn't she going to have more glass in her feet than I would? And the guy goes, "Well, you can come in flip-flops." So we had to go back to the car, fetch his flip-flops, and he let us in. It was so stupid.
What?
The guy spent half the time, and it's like back in the old sticky floors days where you go across the dance floor. Everyone's doing the one step. Hang on, I'm stuck.
I don't know about women, but as a man, why do you want to wear shoes into a club?
That's what I'm saying. You want to dance. You want to be comfortable.
Yeah. I don't know. Have you got
but then you got people kicking off their dusty flipping shoes now, and then they're stinking up the place with the cheese feet.
Why would you do that?
You know what I mean?
Wash your feet before you go dancing.
No.
God, no.
And especially if people have got really bad feet and all. That's just like it just kills the vibe.
Wait. What defines a good foot?
What defines a good foot?
Yeah, this is going to give you this one's going to get millions of
clean and not smelling of cheese. Don't matter if you've got like a manky toe or like a crooked one. That don't define a good foot. It just,
Can we frame this so she looks like she's got a fetish?
It's based on
Tell us more about feet.
No, I think it's based on your hygiene.
Save that for your only.
Oh fuck yeah. My only fan.
What they say on TikTok? Onion flans.
Onion flans.
Yeah.
What are you on?
Why
What's onion
wait,
flag?
Because I guess it gets censored. Like I guess TikTok.
Oh right, yeah.
Also
Some people
YouTube,
say
we need to be
onion
careful of
flags.
that.
That's what I'm saying. Look how sensitive the world
Oh,
is
it's
now.
exhausting. I mean, I watch a lot of history videos, and like for me, it really pisses me off because like a lot of that is about violence, it's about war, it's about like execution. And you want, I mean, I'm not saying that I want to see what it looks like, but it when you've got wars going on not that far away, and the chances are that the Britain will be at war in the next 5 years because of the way the world's moving. But then we're always saying that. But if you've completely sensitized, it's a bit like sort of like, I don't know, my girlfriend's, she comes from a farm, and her family brought bacon from the family pig that they slaughtered at Christmas, and it was quite hard for me. I didn't mind, but Cicciarone, it had a name. And I was like, oh, but then she's like,
have you ever seen a pig get slaughtered?
Yeah, it's fucking horrendous.
It's crazy.
It's really bad.
I saw it when I was in Jamaica a few years ago. It's crazy.
I've seen.
It is not fun.
Yeah, it's not nice to see. I mean, there was a video going around when I was young of a slaughterhouse, like an abattoir, and what they did to a pig, man, it haunted me.
What in Germany?
Yeah, it haunted me for a long time.
I went to Jamaica like.
I was in a lot of trouble for it.
I went to Jamaica.
It was unethical.
I went to Jamaica 2015 for Christmas, and one of my relatives was like, I was slaughtering the pig. Do you want to see? So I woke up at 6 in the morning to watch it. And it was like,
early in the morning.
Yeah, it was early in the morning. And the thing, the pig knows what's happening.
They start misbehaving.
And the pig starts shitting itself as it's being dragged to its death. There's two pigs, and both of them shit themselves as they were being dragged.
Oh my god, I would as well.
Yeah,
it's so bad. But the thing is that we used to have like public executions. I'm not saying we should bring back that like that, but still stuff. But as a society, if you can't look at like history videos or educational material that involves a bit of gore and violence, then you can't learn from the actual horrors of things. So it means that when people go into situations where they are exposed to that, let's say in different countries, a bit like like what you just said about seeing that pig, like you're not desensitized to that level of violence.
I don't know,
to the extent that you don't know what to expect, and therefore it becomes a real shock and quite a traumatic thing.
I mean, I've seen a lot of things in my time, trust me, but seeing an animal being hurt, mate, drop me the fuck out of that.
And also to that, it wasn't a quick death; it was a slow.
That's what I'm saying.
10, 15
alive.
No, they stabbed it in the throat and he bled to death.
Like even when you watch films, and that as well, you see like a fully grown person like being like stabbed or killed or whatever. It's like, oh no, that's not good.
That's not really
See a flipping animal being hurt or a child, man. Nah, you have to walk out of the room. Can't watch it.
Yeah, but I mean, we were talking to someone about a brain hemorrhage like a couple of weeks ago. And
is that Maya?
Yeah,
I know her. I've worked with her before.
She's lovely. And but the way that you see it on film, like the way I had no idea that it was like it just becomes like how long it takes to have a brain hemorrhage. Even.
Yeah,
that was the bit that got me because
she got lucky though.
She got lucky. Yeah,
sounds slow.
Because otherwise, I thought it was just like and you're gone.
Now sometimes it is.
Yeah,
she just got very lucky.
Yeah,
well, sort of.
Well, lucky in the sense that she could have.
She survived it.
Yeah, lucky. Like some people, I know 2 people that died straight away from it. There was no time to do anything.
My dad's old best friend, he died of it. I think his last words were, "I'll sign this card for Leslie." It was my birthday or something, and he just gone on a tennis court. Which, to be fair, I mean, if it's a quick one, then
I suppose there's no.
I guess it's like almost like a heart attack. Some heart attacks are like,
I interviewed a guy like that. He said that it was great.
You can call a doctor.
You don't know you're going, basically.
Yeah, I met this guy. He'd survived. He had 14 consecutive heart attacks, and I interviewed him as a local journo, and he told me that it was honestly the easiest way to go. He said, "I hope when I die, I have a heart attack," because he was like,
the guy that had the heart attack.
He had 14 heart attacks. I mean, in the case, in the space, I mean, they were quite consecutive. So, I think he just kind of, they got him going and they snuffed it again. And they got him going again. They were at it for like 24 hours. Because he said that what happened was he was standing there talking to his wife at the bottom of his bed. And then the next thing you know, he wakes up in hospital 3 weeks later. Wow. And he was like, and he had no idea what happened. And he was just sitting there and all of a sudden, gone. And it's like, I mean,
I guess it depends because my mum had a heart attack. She was conscious though, but when it was that she couldn't breathe and
it hurts as well. Yeah,
that is terrifying. Yeah, especially if it's a cramp, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'd rather just go in my sleep, because you're asleep and you don't know any different. True. Peaceful. I think anyone would want that for their end.
Oh, absolutely.
To be honest, just a peaceful one.
For me, it's more of I want to go into the gladiatorial arena and get torn apart by lions.
That's really I want to go out in the bank.
Yeah. I've got my.
I want to know. I want to know that I've gone. That I've accomplished something, or I've had purpose, and I'm proud of. Yeah.
You've actually put it down. I think you said it at some point in your bio or something. It was just like you know, like if you're gonna die, then and your life flashed before your eyes, it should be, you know, it should at least make you smile on your way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I completely agree with that.
Yeah, and as long as I think you have that, then I think death wouldn't be wouldn't be fearful of death.
Yeah,
you know,
because it's like you've got something, you know, you did a little bit of your bit. What scares me about it is, and I was thinking way too much about this the other night, and I don't want to like sort of drag people into this, into my bizarre overthinking.
I think we've all crossed that.
Like, yeah. I mean, these things get, it's like, it's just that it's the eternity of it. It's that, you know, you get this little blink of life, and there's us worried about work and what Shelley down the road thinks. It's like, fuck me, you know, like it's like we are, like when we are atomic, and then it's like we have sentience. And it just puts your life into such perspective. But then it also makes you think, well, the fuck am I doing sitting indoors?
That's what I'm saying. Go on. Sorry.
So it's crazy that you spent so much time not being here, and then you're gonna be dead for a long time, and we're wasting our time doing.
You kind of hope that
that's what I'm saying. It makes you question everything, like faith and you know, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, the way I see it is, you come into this world with nothing, you go out with nothing. You could be the richest. That's why. Why do you think I say
It's kind of like your legacy.
I say money and that, and like, you know, all these material things and that, they mean nothing.
Yeah,
they mean nothing because you're not going to be able to take it with you. Do you know what I mean? At least if you're going to put a mark on the world, put a good mark on it. You know, help. Yeah. You know, do something good with it. It's where you can go to bed at night and think, I did something good today.
That's why I wanted to write a book as well, was because it's like, when I'm dead, I want to know that my grandkids or whatever can still read something, even if they probably won't, but they'll want to, you know, they'll read about me and they'll read who I was in those books. Yeah. And that's why, I've written so much stuff over the years that I've never published, because it's like, well, actually, you know, I'm not saying I want to have my legacy or anything, but I started writing when I was about 22.
Well, why not? What's so bad of leaving a legacy to your family, for your children's children?
Yeah, it'd be interesting for them to
the royalty do it.
I'd be kind of curious to see if they read it and then thought, oh shit, I'm going through something like that. Or, you know, like, so I think I wrote because I was, you know, going through a lot of trauma at the time, and like that helped me express my feelings and, you know, understand what I was going through, because it was a lot. And it was like but in doing so, you know, I wrote into a narrative, but I read back over it, and I'm like, as an editor, you know, now that I'm a professional journalist, it's like I can read through this stuff, and I'm like, all right, I'm not fucking having that phrasing, that's terrible. And, you know, like, but I started to edit it, and after a while, I was like, nah, actually, because this is who I was when I was 22. Yeah. And like, you know, like, and I can produce work now that's better quality perhaps, but that authenticity of who that person was when they were young, that has a sort of quality to it that might be shit objectively, but actually it's still that person who I was. And it's also why we sort of were doing the podcast as well, in a way, because we wanted to see who we were when we were turning 30, and it was almost like a little experiment, because it used to be off point at 30. And I think that the way that we talk now and the way that we, you know, the things that we go through in life now, very different to who we were when we were 30 or 29 when we started this. And it's just quite interesting. It'll be interesting to listen to sort of our earlier work and now this.
I guess like when we started the podcast, like I guess like turning 30 was this big milestone.
Yeah.
Now we are in our 30s, like 4 years later. It
still don't feel any different.
Yeah, it feels normal.
Yeah, it does. And that's what I'm saying. It's hard growing up, you know, especially in this day and age. It's going to be even harder. But I think when you hit 30, I think that's when you do your your most mature, where you accept things more. And you know, and you want to, you know, make things better more. You know, you want to make sure you're sorted. Yeah, you want a strategy. You want to make sure you got things sorted. And you also, like, you know, however your mind works or whatever, you want to do something good. You know,
it's great that there's always these positive people, and I think that a lot of the people we've spoken to, they all say something similar to what you've said. That it's like, you know, I just want to create something that is valuable to others and help people. I mean, you know, I think every single guest without fail. We've had surgeons on, we've had like, you know, actors, we've had you know, like someone I think who said that they were an Imaginarium or something like that. I don't know. But poets, artists. I mean, I'm not trying to big us up. Activists. Yeah. Wait, we had an activist. App developer. Oh yeah, Tayo. Yeah. And his thing was like, you know, like just created the game because it was fun for me, but I'm really proud of it, and I hope so. You know, like other people enjoy.
Fair play.
Lovely guy as well, right? Yeah. All right. Well, should we wrap it up? Because it's late. And
that's been really good. Like, what's the time? Yeah, look, it's like nearly 10.
Oh, shit, yeah. Usually we don't. Yeah, no, it's an absolute honour and a privilege. Honestly, it really has.
Oh, thank you.
We'd absolutely have you on again. Please do promote our videos, because
of course I will. 100%. Of course I will.
I don't. You know, like no, because they're all my students on my Instagram, and I'm like, yeah, let's skip over the ADHD bit because they'll realise I actually was Mr. Crazy. But no, I do actually. I've been better at it. He keeps nagging me about it.
Big up Les and Marlon, man. Look at their
Thank
podcast, their realness. This is what I like.
Yeah, we like to have a chit chat with people, you know. Like, it's so nice to be able to meet all these new people as well. And like, you're absolutely lovely as well.
Thank you.
Obviously,
No, I appreciate
I love
that.
some of your points as well. I mean, you know, obviously we'll summarise it when he goes through editorial and that. And but thank you very much for coming on.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for having an evening.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.